latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slower. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the 4th annual Ugly Sweater Run 5K and 10K presented by Hunter Subaru. Saturday, December the 2nd at the Riveter in Asheville. Runners and walkers don their most outrageously festive and tacky outfits, making this the most festive race of the year. Whether you're a seasoned runner or just looking for some holiday fun, the Ugly Sweater Run is the perfect way to celebrate the season, spread joy, and create lasting memories. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by 97.7 The Brew, Asheville's Christmas station.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's dollar. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raidered. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. We're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. You can join us in the chat. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday. We will recap Monday Night Football, but we have to start.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Breaking news, Jeremy.
Oh,
come on.
Can you not? Could you not?
Oh, you gonna give it to me or I won't stop dancing.
After last night, which I could best describe as, oh no.
Poop in it.
Okay? Oh, somebody took a poop in it.
Some jokester took a poop in it. Okay.
There we go. You got to turn it up. Ken Dorsey.
I was too busy dancing.
Ken Dorsey's been fired by the Buffalo Bills because somebody had to be.
Well, yeah. Somebody's got to take the ball.
Circles the drain like the Buffalo Bills. Woof.
Yeah.
I would say last night wasn't predictable, except I predictabled it.
That you did.
And so, yeah, it's a 5-game win for Jeremy in the pick segment this week. Tank, I'm pretty sure I could have trained one of those turkeys out here in the field at Radio Ranch, and they might have picked games better than you did.
They possibly could have. It didn't go well for me this week in the pick'em game, but thank God I didn't have to bet my house on it, right?
Correct.
Because if I did, I'd probably have to call Clarissa to find me a new one.
Also correct.
Because it did not go well. All right. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, that's what a tease sounds like if you don't know the radio business. Yeah, last night was proof positive of, you remember a few weeks ago when I said the Buffalo Bills weren't making the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
That's done nothing but been compounded several weeks in a row now. They're not good. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand.
The problem is they are good. They're good in the sense of the Los Angeles Chargers are good, right? They've got good players. You've got talented guys on the field. The problem is you don't seem to have the leadership to bring it all together. I don't know where all this went wrong.
Well, I mean, and look, firing Ken Dorsey, that's all well and good. Our buddy Soaring Eagle, he has been on this since last night, and I have to give him his flowers with his super chat.
I'm your huckleberry.
He said, I don't care that Ken Dorsey was fired. I still believe this. The Buffalo Bills will not win another game this season. I'm not going that far because that is, that's to the window,
Bold.
to the wall, till the Buffalo Bills fall. Skeet. I don't understand why this is so shocking. All right, so you said Buffalo is good.
Yes.
What are they good at? Can you narrow that down?
Well, I mean, they have a good quarterback, right?
Well,
Don't they?
At times.
I mean, with all the turnovers, it gets iffy, but still a good play. You get what I mean.
The
Like, these
Buffalo
are
Bills.
good players.
I'm not debating they have good players.
Right.
I said they're not a good team. This is becoming like getting set up on a blind date. And when you ask, well, what does she look like? And you get, well, she's got really good hair. Like voluminous and curly, and it's wonderful.
Oh, I love her hair.
But that didn't answer the question that I asked you, which is, what she look like? Okay, hey, she's got really pretty eyes or something. Give me something, or I'm gonna end up at an Applebee's with a girl that looks like Tank.
Yeah,
that's what the Buffalo Bills are.
She
at
got
this
real
point.
pretty eyes, but they're about 6 inches too far apart.
Oh no, that's As for ESPN, you get to deal with that one, not me. I'm distancing myself from that statement immediately. But look, Buffalo is a team that has talent. Josh Allen is a good quarterback. There's no doubt about that. Turns the ball over way too much. He's way too loosey-goosey with the football. He has been for an extended period of time. This is not new information. You have a diva wide receiver whose brother tweeted out 14 needs to get out of Buffalo before the game was even over last night.
Which compounds the problem of the brother saying he needed to get out of Buffalo in the offseason.
It's just a comedy of errors that have now resulted in, well, now you're here, and among teams in the NFL, there are not many that have a tougher remaining schedule than the Buffalo Bills. And I'm not going to go as far as Soaring Eagle did and say I don't see any wins, because you still play the Patriots and the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
You also play the Chargers. You also play the Dolphins, who, yes, they haven't beaten a good team, but they can still score. You play the Cowboys, play the Chiefs, play the Eagles. I see a lot of losses there, and I don't see a path to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't
either. I don't either. Last night was a must-win. I didn't say that yesterday because I didn't think it was possible for Buffalo to come in and do what they did.
Stone Sports Podcast had a really good point. They've already lost to both of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. So that's a doozy of a point you got. Now, that was many offensive sets ago for the New York Jets, and that was many Mac Jones screaming sessions for the New England Patriots.
Wasn't that the last time y'all scored a touchdown?
Probably.
Was first game of the season?
Probably. Hey, look.
Your offense is as bad as the Panthers is.
The Jets are averse to scoring, okay? They gave their word to stop at third. Teen Abstinence Day, 1994. Let's go. All right.
What was the stat that was told to me? 37 possessions?
We're not talking about the Jets.
You haven't scored an offensive touchdown?
Okay. You get plenty of opportunity to talk smack about my Jets. They're in the poop tier of the power rankings.
Right.
That's not what this is about.
Right. Sorry, I'll put a pin in that. We'll hold on to that for later. Buffalo is terrible. They are a terrible team. Like, when the sense of, are we good as a cohesive unit, and can we do the fundamental things to win football games? You are awful.
This is the Band-Aid.
You might rank 32nd in the league.
This is the Band-Aid. This is the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You fire Ken Dorsey now because you have to do something, because your fan base is about to riot.
Mm-hmm. It's a
you got
smoke and mirrors.
booed off your own field last night on Monday Night Football with probably the best fan base in the league.
Yep.
And they booed you off the field.
Yep.
So you got to do something. But this is not the end-all, be-all. I mean, Ken Dorsey was part of the problem. He was about 20% of the problem.
There's one more. There's one more head that needs to roll.
Ron
here.
Howard.
Yes. Sean McDermott.
It's
has
time
to
for
go.
him to head back to Mayberry and see what Aunt Bee's doing.
Because to me, and maybe I'm off base on this, and this is just a naive way of looking at things, but when teams start to do this, when I see teams that have 12 men on the field that cost them a game at the end of the game.
You had one job, okay? And do you realize how close we came to Sean Payton being the biggest dunce on the planet last night?
Yep.
Because you kneel that out, and then you have to run the sprint the field goal unit on there. I'm sitting there watching this game going, there was only one thing you could do here that was really stupid. I mean, I wouldn't have cared if you kicked it on third down. That's what Peyton Manning was screaming for.
Right.
And I watched them do this go, you're not good enough for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Buffalo bailed you out.
Yep. Buffalo bailed him out with the too many men on the field. Did we ever narrow down who that was?
No.
I heard that it was DeMar Hamlin, but then I heard another report that was the only guy that was on the field for the first one that wasn't on the field for the second one was Leonard Floyd. So it was either DeMar Hamlin or Leonard Floyd that was the man in the wrong there.
I don't care who it was.
No, I'm just
I'm looking at your special teams coordinator going.
Media.
I'm looking at your special teams coordinator going, how do you not have the alert emergency field goal call where 11 dudes know, nope, that's me. Not Leonard Floyd, not DeMar. I don't care who it was.
And that's what they talked about after the game in the press conferences. I think there were two separate coaches that said the most frustrating thing about this is we've practiced that.
Yeah.
We put an emphasis on that in special teams.
It's usually called
practice.
a fire drill.
And somehow we still screwed it up, even though, and to me, that's bad leadership.
No doubt.
To me, that falls on the head coaches, onto the assistant coaches, onto the entire culture of your team. When you're committing penalties on offense, when you don't have receivers and quarterbacks on the same page, it appears, every damn down of the game, when you have guys missing their assignments, it's just all the sloppy mechanical work of a team. When you're bad at that, that's the head coach's fault.
Yes.
And Sean McDermott needs to be fired. I don't understand why you didn't do it today. Because to me,
you can't, because you don't have anybody to turn this team over to.
I don't know that that's true.
Who you turn it over to? You fire Sean McDermott right now. You might as well roll over and die and say you're going to go 7-10.
Could I have picked up the phone and convinced Leslie Frazier to come back? Could I have said, "Hey Leslie, we need you, man. This has gone off the rails. Look, he may not be available right now. He may be on an island somewhere and you can't call him. But I'm saying at least I want to know that was in somebody's mind.
Can we stop normalizing bringing people from outside of the organization?
He was from the organization.
I don't care.
They were winning with him in the locker room.
Well, a lot of Bills fans would tell you they were winning in spite of him. But yeah, stop normalizing that. You don't bring somebody from the outside and go, oh, this is what's going to unify us. No, you're going to have to pick somebody off that staff because things have changed. And it may not be a drastic change. It's enough. I get why you didn't fire Sean McDermott. Now, 5 seconds after the season's over, based on how I'm seeing this go, no doubt. And this will become a really alluring job. The thing that I can't figure out is what exactly am I supposed to do with Josh Allen at this point? He's become the most difficult quarterback evaluation in the NFL, and I don't think it's even close. Because your good is fantastic, and your bad is horror awful. I mean, genuinely, how in the world do you do these things as the $250 million quarterback this many years into the league? I can't figure it out. They turned the ball over on the first play of the game. First play. They turned it over at one point so quickly that the Manning cast hadn't got back from some stupid little cadence drill with Eli Manning, Sean O'Hara, and his children.
Oh, I bet that was
By
fun.
the way, can we stop that? Okay, we watch that for the inside baseball stuff. I don't need your powder puff, sugary sweet, look at Eli Manning's kids crap, okay? I need Peyton, Omaha, give me that. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Give me the inside look. Give me the 360 breakdown.
I also don't need Lindsey Vaughn ever. Anybody that uses the phrase, I really want us to make a touchdown, out.
Yep.
Gong show.
Yep.
No. You are on conversation probation. You're not allowed to talk anymore.
Yeah. No, the first time they started bringing on celebrities who had nothing to add to the game, I went, yeah, I think I'm good on this. I'll go back to Joe Buck. And if y'all know how I feel about Joe Buck, then that tells you everything I feel about the Manning cast.
He's not a big fan.
I can't stand Eli. He gets cringier and cringier by the day.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I realize we're kind of the same guy. Like, we're corny. We both make stupid jokes all the time. Yeah, you'll see it, and then you'll go, yeah, he's got a point there.
No, you're the Wish version of Eli Manning if you picked him up at a Zaxby's.
Not sure how to take that, but okay.
Well, you're in far less good shape than he is.
Oh,
Kind of like my
kidding.
grammar there is. That is your analysis.
Uh-huh.
That is far less good than it should have been.
That was a rocky road we went down on that verbal roller coaster there.
All right, rest of the season, where does Buffalo finish? If you had to just straight up, gun to your head right now, you have to tell me what the record of the Buffalo Bills is. What is it? You play the Jets this week, I'll say that's a win.
I'm gonna go.
I don't think you can be incompetent enough on offense to lose to the Jets again.
I'm going to say 8-9.
I have you beating the Jets this week, then you lose back-to-back at the Eagles, at the Chiefs. You lose to the Cowboys, and then you beat the Chargers, the Patriots, and the Dolphins.
Are you going to beat the Dolphins at
Yes.
the end of the season?
And that will give you a big old sweet 9-8 and get everybody fired.
I don't think there's anything that can save this team.
You can save yourself. You can reel off. You could win out. Buffalo's
but
talented enough to win out.
But at this point, is that not more miracle than anything?
No doubt.
Right.
I would say at this point, Sean McDermott, if I had to wager it, is he the head coach of the Buffalo Bills week 1 of next year? I would put it at no is minus 1,000 and yes is plus 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Because virtually anything you could do is so far out of the realm of possibility. Yes, you're going to beat the Jets this week. Then over the Thanksgiving, the bookends of Thanksgiving, you go to the Eagles, who are exponentially better than you, and the Chiefs, who are exponentially better than you. So at that point, you're 6-7 with 4 games left that you damn near have to win all of, and there's at least one roadblock there.
Mm-hmm.
The AFC's too good. And this is what I've been saying about Buffalo all year long. This is the worst this team has been, and you have the same expectations that you've had in the past. That doesn't make any sense to me. And now when you see Josh Allen do things like this team goes from not as good as they were to not good, period. Last night was a joke, and a lot of it had more to do with Buffalo than it did with the Denver Broncos. Got one of these from our buddy Curtis Davis. He said, so in my depression and figuring out whether Jim Harbaugh will take Blake Corum or Edwards to fix our run game, hoping that Dennis Allen becomes our new defensive coordinator, and then here comes a new challenger. That's very sad. Bolt up. I will tell you this. Buffalo is not a challenger for Jim Harbaugh. That's just not where they would go, in my opinion, and I'm not sure he would want. Buffalo at this point.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you're telling me I can have Justin Herbert or Josh Allen, I pretty well know what Josh Allen is.
Yeah.
There might be something in Justin Herbert where he's just never been coached up. Josh Allen's had Ken Dorsey, who we liked.
Mm-hmm.
I still like.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that he's a great play caller. I think he's a good coach. Brian Daboll and now Joe Brady. That's 3 guys that have been offensive coordinators in this league, and you've regressed practically every week. I'm not sure that's what I want. I'm not sure I want to go into a division with Aaron Rodgers and Tua Tagovailoa.
Now I feel like Harbaugh would jump at the chance to go back to Southern California.
Oh, Curtis corrected me. He wasn't talking about Harbaugh. He was talking about Dennis Allen. I don't know. I don't know where Buffalo would turn. You got to go down the Joe Shane tree because I don't think he would be the fall guy. He's drafted entirely too well. You've hit on guys in multiple rounds. The corners haven't been great. You missed on Kyer Elam. But, I mean, I think you hit on Osiris Torrance. I think you hit on the linebackers, Bernard and Dorian Williams. I think you hit on Khalil Shakir. He's been at least a decent weapon. James Cook, if he could learn how to hang on to the football, hey, maybe rub those things down a little bit. Maybe don't have that incredibly slick football because your team seems to really struggle to hold on to it.
Buffalo loses last night to the Denver Broncos. Buffalo now falls to 5-5 on the season. Denver's just 1 game behind them. That's one thing that I never thought I'd say this year, outside of maybe week 1. is that the Denver Broncos are one game behind the Buffalo Bills.
Well, that's ironic. That feels like something we should talk about. The Denver Broncos.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine, and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, God?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Monday Night Football last night. The Buffalo Bills sucked a lot.
It was not good.
Turned over the ball 4 times. The Denver Broncos were the beneficiary. 24-22 win at the buzzer. Because, well, the Buffalo Bills gave it to him, right? I mean, the kick.
Well,
look, Will Lutz misses the 41-yard field goal.
Well,
and
that's because you had
over.
to play the fun fire drill game because Sean Payton, well, that wasn't real bright.
Yeah.
Well, let's kneel it because we don't want to give him 12 seconds with no timeouts left. That's a real rousing endorsement of your defense that had actually played pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
That was dumb. Dumb to dumb. Thankfully, you got bailed out because they were dumb to dumber.
Yes. And then he hits the 36-yarder to win the game at the end. Buffalo Bills responding with firing Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator today. Joe Brady, former offensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers, will be taking over as the OC for Buffalo. And the Denver Broncos are sitting at 4-5 now, and they have back-to-back wins over the Chiefs and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, how much better is this team than we thought they were?
They're better. The offense is still really clunky. Russell Wilson still does things that do not make any sense. And you can give me the touchdown to interception ratio. That's fine. That will keep you in games. I'm not sure he can win you games.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the sack late. I looked at Brian Haynes last night and said, how in the world does a guy that went to 2 Super Bowls and been in this league that long take that sack? And I get that the pass rush got to him immediately. Everybody in that stadium knew they were coming. Everybody. That was not – they had tipped it off. It was super obvious. He took 3 steps back and stopped. I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know what that was, but that is not high-level NFL quarterback play. They are better than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
Not by a ton. You look at the rest of the schedule, you tell me where the wins come in. All right, so you're going to beat New England. I'll give you that. You play the Chargers twice. You probably can win one of those.
Maybe.
Might be able to beat the Raiders. The other 4 games are the Texans, the Vikings, the Browns, and the Lions. That's a lot like a water ride at an amusement park. You will get wet. You may get soaked.
Mm-hmm.
You will get beat. You may get shellacked. They're still, I would say, a bottom 10-ish team in the league.
Yeah.
And the only thing is that the bottom of this league is so bad that you're going to appear higher than that in the power rankings this week.
Look, I didn't think that there was a way that you could get me interested in the Sunday night game this week. But the more I look at it and I go, that is a kind of an interesting matchup with the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos.
It's the amuse-bouche of the weekend.
Right.
That's what you get before the real entree shows up, which is Chiefs-Eagles next Monday. And you're getting your dessert first this week because you get Bengals-Ravens on Thursday.
Yep.
They wearing the white helmets?
I think so. I think Stephen Tao shared out last night.
The Ravens are in all black. I know that much.
Ravens are all black. I think it would only make sense for the Bengals to go all white.
I mean, but do you have any belief in Denver that's any more than what you had?
I have
Neither
none.
do I.
That's great that you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I still don't know what that is, what that was. I mean, you got up.
It's the
and
game
you got
that Kansas City has every year.
Yeah, but you got. I mean, you got up and you were able to snatch a win away from an in-division rival. Buffalo's a team on the downslide, so I mean, I do give you credit for winning that game,
doubt.
but it's not anything that's going to sway me all that much.
Here's, I would say, the most likely scenario for the Denver Broncos moving forward is that they catch a win this week on Sunday Night Football, and then you get the Browns, the Texans, the Chargers, the Lions, and that's 4 losses.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know, you're 5-9, and all of your good graces have fallen apart.
Yeah.
Because I still feel like some of this is smoke and mirrors, even after watching it last night. Vance Joseph is doing the zone blitz things that he likes to do. He really confused Josh Allen a couple times doing that, sending the safeties, dropping the line. And you've got players. You just, to me, have a very mediocre quarterback. Courtland Sutton, what happened to that dude?
What do you mean?
Well, he can't catch, for one.
I mean, the touchdown looked good.
Awesome. Broke watches right twice a day. I think he had 3 drops last night. And one of them was absolutely horrifically bad. I don't really believe in anything that's here.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if you were in the NFC, you're probably the 7, because I feel like you and the Minnesota Vikings are really close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
In the AFC, no shot.
Yep.
Because be honest with yourself. Take off the fanboy horsey glasses and tell me which one of the teams I'm getting ready to say you're better than. The Dolphins are going to win the AFC East. I believe the Cleveland Browns are going to win the AFC North. Jacksonville or Houston wins the South. Kansas City wins the West. Are you better than Houston or Jacksonville?
No.
Good God, no. Are you better than Baltimore or Pittsburgh or Cincinnati? Oh, good God, no. I don't think you're better than Buffalo. You needed them to absolutely hand you a game on a silver platter to beat them. That puts you down there with the Chargers, who I think are more talented than you, the Raiders, who seem to have a renewed sense of confidence, the Colts, and the Jets. That's where you fit.
Yep.
That's where you fit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's an improvement, and I think Sean Payton's doing a good-ish job.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, certainly this is something you can sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
You up until this, like, think about the difference of the mood in the building as opposed to obviously the week after the 70-20 beatdown that you took at the hands of the Miami Dolphins. And we all thought, well, this is, just blow it up now, right? There's nothing to play for the future.
Well, I mean, this is why you have to show some patience.
Sure. And then now you're looking at a 3-game win streak going into the second half of the season here. You're kind of in play. It's about the best you can hope for.
Well, you basically signed your own death warrant the day you traded for Russell Wilson. That took you out of Super Bowl contention.
Mm-hmm.
I said it the day the trade was made. One of these does not belong. Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, now C.J. Stroud, Russell Wilson. One of those doesn't fit. And I don't care that he has a 4-5 or 5-1 touchdown to interception ratio. I don't care.
Right.
He's just not good enough to prop up the roster, and your roster is not better than theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, enjoy the wins. It's building blocks. That's what you're doing right now is you're trying to figure out who are the guys that will be here next year when we might be more competitive, and who are the guys that will be foundation pieces 2 years from now when we might actually be competitive for a Super Bowl.
You're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. When we come back, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Temperatures again this afternoon running several degrees above average. It'll be cooler Wednesday, milder for the end of the week, with showers Thursday night into Friday. Clouds increasing for us this afternoon, middle to even upper 60s. Down around or below 40 tonight, cloudy, cooler, middle to upper 50s tomorrow. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds at times Thursday, low 60s. Scattered showers Thursday night and Friday, highs Friday, low 60s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need for the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, it's guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
'Tis the season. When you're in the mood for holiday music, listen live with the iHeartRadio app and on your radio.
97.7 The Brew is Asheville's Christmas station, brought to you by Balkan Roofing and Ingalls Markets.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
At Mattress Firm's Black Friday sale, better sleep and unmissable deals are a sure bet. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic and score a $300 instant gift for pillows and more. Plus, get your new bed with fast and free delivery. Don't miss the Black Friday sale at Mattress Firm.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior interior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Hey, it's Tank Spencer. Join Jeremy Green and I this Thursday from 4 to 6 at the Ingles at 575 New Leicester Highway to support Manna Food Bank and the Ingles Giving Tree. Stop by and make a donation and register to win free groceries from Ingles Markets and the Sportsocracy.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It's ESPN Asheville. And Jeremy, you said what was a broken watch is right twice a day?
That's right.
Okay. Referring to Courtland Sutton and his touchdown catch on Monday Night Football last night in the Denver Broncos 24-22 win over the Buffalo Bills. Courtland Sutton's touchdown catch in the second quarter was, it was the highlight of the night, for what I saw anyway. Because you know me, I don't ever make it to the second halves of these ball games. But that was a phenomenal catch that he made.
He still got – He still has the ability to make plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very obvious after the injuries, he doesn't have the burst that he once did.
I didn't know how great of a catch that was. The 7-yard touchdown pass to Courtland Sutton, to which went to the sidelines. Courtland Sutton had to reach out of bounds to grab it and was just barely able to drag the toes on the line or before the line to get credit for the touchdown. According to Next Gen Stats, that completion had a probability of completion of 3.2%. That is the most improbable completion in the Next Gen Stats era. It was like a Mario Manningham type of a catch. It didn't have the gravity, obviously, of the catch, but it was highly improbable. I got to give him credit.
That's a good catch.
Yeah, give him credit for it.
It's much better than my story. Comes from the Motor City madman himself, Dan Campbell.
Love that guy.
Sitting at 7-2. Things are going well. And one of the reasons that the Lions are winning, according to Dan Campbell, is both because his team is laying it all on the line, going for it on fourth down, doing all the things. Well, he also believes that the fans have a big say in that. And now he's asking the fans of the Detroit Lions to be prepared to truly lay it on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a quote from his presser yesterday. Here's what I would say, because I tell my family this. Just wear a diaper before some of these games. And I'll give them an alert and say, put them on and be ready to roll.
What?
He wants fans to wear a diaper so they don't have to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That is a level of commitment that I am not prepared to give to my football team or anything else.
No, I'm not soiling myself just so I don't miss a play.
Nope, I'm not wearing oops, I crap my pants. I'm not doing it. I will not. I will not do it. I love my team, but I am not going to sit in my own stools.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would much rather have to do the Manning cast thing and go back and watch the replay rather than to be there for that.
Oh,
and
I
have
would
to sit in my own filth.
I would rather listen to Lindsey Vonn and Klay Thompson commentate an NFL game. If you watch the last few weeks of the Manning cast, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Klay Thompson didn't even know that he was on a delay.
Of course, I'm surprised people in the stands in Detroit don't just poo at their seats anyway. So.
Well, apparently at Disneyland they're doing that in line. So, yeah. Stop pooping in the street.
Yeah, y'all are gross.
It's weird, and you shouldn't. You ought not do that.
Right. Oh man, it is a Power Rankings Tuesday here on ESPN Asheville. We'll get into the Power Rankings in the next hour.
But we got to give an update to a story we told yesterday.
Okay.
Jimbo Fisher, he's no longer the head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies.
Right.
And frankly, in the course of 24 hours, I don't know that I have ever seen more high-level candidates go, don't know who it will be. Won't be me. Dan Lanning, nope. They've given me all the money. I'm happy here. We're good. Mike Elko, I don't know.
Did he say no?
He wasn't as vehement about it as Dan Lanning. He didn't want to talk about it.
I was going to say, that surprises me.
It doesn't surprise me. It always kills me when jobs like this come up and people are so surprised at the people that don't want it. Why would Mike Elko want that job?
Because it's a bigger job than Duke. And
Okay, so
it's the
quantify
school
bigger.
you came from.
It's a school you worked at for a handful of years. That's not where he's from. I don't remember where he went to school, but he was just a defensive coordinator there. Do you have a better chance to win at Texas A&M or at Duke? It's Duke, and it's not close.
Okay.
Do you realize how many teams you have to go through at Texas A&M?
Mm-hmm.
With a culture that has basically been, hey, we can get players here. We just can't do squat with them.
Why would you not want that challenge? Why would you not want that challenge?
Do I want to go deal with Nick Saban and Steve Sarkisian, even Oklahoma, LSU, Ole Miss, Georgia? I hadn't even mentioned Georgia at that point. I have to go through every one of those.
Well, you have to ask yourself a question: do you ever want to compete for a title? Because you're never going to do that at Duke, ever.
No, but you're missing the point. Because he stays at Duke for a year doesn't mean he stays at Duke forever.
No.
Can you ever win a national title at Texas A&M?
Yes.
I disagree with you.
I
disagree with you. Because, and I'll tell you why. It's the same reason you'll never win one at Oklahoma State and the same reason you'll never win one at Oregon. Because just because you spend money like Scrooge McDuck doesn't mean that you're actually good at this. The one thing that never changes about these jobs are the board of regents and the athletic department and where all these things come from. Texas A&M has an excised expectation of what they are, and they always will. And if you look back through the years, what happens every single time they hire a coach? Oh, this is the guy. Jimbo Fisher, we had to go get him, and he's going to lead us to the promised land. 6 years later, bye. I'm willing to give up $76 million just to get him to go away. Do you think they're going to hire a better coach than Jimbo Fisher? Because I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't.
I mean, I don't know. As much crap as you talked about Jimbo Fisher, there's got to be one out there somewhere.
I think that's almost the funniest part of this is that I don't believe in Jimbo Fisher in any way. They haven't had a coach survive more than, I think it's 6 years. He didn't quite make it to 6 years, and Jimbo didn't quite make it to 6 years. The last one that did was R.C. Slocum. That's not program stability. Dan Lanning has no interest in that. Dan Lanning is going to hang out at Oregon until Nick Saban decides to walk away, and then he's going to go, hey, I'm real young, like super young. He is less than a year older than I am. That's a job that I'll leave for. Texas A&M, not so much. Lane Kiffin, let me just go ahead and tell you how I think this will go. They'll call Dan Lanning. He will rebuff them immediately. Oregon will give him a very sizable contract extension. They'll court Mike Elko. Duke will come up with some of that basketball money and give him a big old biggin. Not because he'll stay at Duke forever, but because right now, what are the impediments to me in the ACC? I got Florida State, maybe Clemson. I don't really know where that goes. Who's three? Am I worried about North Carolina with a 72-year-old coach?
And no quarterback next year?
I mean, I'm just not worried about that. Am I worried about NC State? Am I worried about Georgia Tech? Am I worried about Miami? No. I can come in here and reel off 9-win seasons and be the number one candidate for any job that comes open until I find the one I want. And I laugh at Mike Elko came from there. That will make him want it more. To me, that would make him want it less.
Because
he's looked around and knows where all the bodies are. He knows how many of these boosters are involved in how many of these decisions. And now I wanted to bring this up because I wanted to ask you a question. Do you remember the last time I said this about a job?
Tennessee.
And there was another one. I tied them both together.
Auburn.
Weird. You know, if you look from the 1,000-foot view of that Auburn job doesn't look real attractive right now, does it? Because they're not very good.
No.
That Tennessee job doesn't look nearly as attractive as it once did. Oh, but we've been okay for a couple years. Went to the Orange Bowl last year and won. Awesome. With the new SEC, where does Tennessee fall in? And they don't have nearly the booster problems that Texas A&M does. 7?
8.
I got them at 7.
Something like that.
That's the point. Every time we do these things, you almost want the coach that's at a school that hasn't been good forever to move just to move. Guys like Mike Elko are not going to do that. They'll find the right job. And I'm struggling to figure out who's going to think Texas A&M is the right job. Lane Kiffin will use it to get a raise. Dan Lanning will use it to get a raise. A handful of other guys will use it to get a raise. But who's actually going to say yes? I mean, they're paying $76 million to Jimbo Fisher. They had to come out and explain where the money was coming from.
Yep.
You think they're going to do that again? You think they're coming up with $200 million to give somebody over the next 10 years?
No.
15 years?
No, you're
Because
not
that's
doing
basically
that.
what it's going to take.
No, you're not doing that.
No. You'll end up swinging for the fences, and you'll settle for a solid double that you fire in 5 years because he never wins more than 8 games. Because now you've lost all of the promise of Texas A&M. The positive was that we're the only SEC team in Texas. So I can go into every kid's house and say, you want to play in the best conference in America? You're from Texas? You want to be close to home? You want your parents to be at your games? I'm the only game in town. Now you've got Oklahoma and Texas has every bit as much money as you do. And they spend it almost as frivolously as you do, but they're better run than you are. Texas A&M will always be the little sister. Always. That's never going to change until things change at the top, and that's not going to happen. Because the only allure of you're geographically isolated. Texas is in Austin. You're not. You're in College Station. And I don't know how much you know about Texas. Austin is a real fun place to live. College Station, not so much. So you will always have to overpay. You will always be chasing money, and all that leads to is you frivolously spending money and getting the same result. In the last 40 years, how many 10-win seasons does Texas A&M have?
In 40 years?
In 40 years. Basically my whole life, going all the way back to 1983.
I'd say 12.
It's 7.
Really?
7.
Wow.
Ever. I mean, and that goes all the way back to the SWAC days. The Southwest Conference. You've never been that team.
Yeah.
Not.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will. Maybe they will pay up. I don't know, because the whole thing they've been saying is we had to make a change because we're not where we want to be.
Well, the statement that came out yesterday of we're taking the initial payout out of the endowment from the 12th man, that was 100% the boosters going, contributed a lot of money here, and I'm not so sure I love that we're paying $76 million to get a guy to go away. The guy that you told me was the end-all, be-all, and we never did squat.
Well, the reason that they pulled the plug on this is because the donors started saying something.
Of course,
because the donors started saying,
I told you this the day
this.
that Jimbo Fisher got hired. We used to call him Revolving Door Fisher because his hand had this weird thing of as soon as you put money in it, it would just go on a full revolving door and wind up right back out there with his hand out. It was never going to work. Ever. And this is the same leadership in large part that made that decision, that made the Kevin Sumlin decision, Dennis Franchione, all the way back to R.C. Slocum. It ain't going to change.
Yeah.
And these coaches know that.
Yeah.
If you got options, sure, take their money, let them overpay you. But not if you have big boy options.
Yeah. Was the whole move just to get out in front of the class of coaches?
No
here?
doubt. Oh,
Was
that's
just to
that's
be
why
at
this is
the
happening
just,
more often.
Just to be at the forefront of the interviews and stuff? Is
Well,
that
it's to
why
be at
they
the
did it
forefront
now?
of the transfer portal because the portal opens on December 4th. It's kind of hard to explain to a transfer the big pitch of your university when you're not going to have a coach for 3 more weeks, which falls into a problem with a lot of these candidates. Dan Lanning could be playing in the playoff. Mike Norvell could be playing in the playoff. By the way, neither one of those would even answer your calls. They would see that area code and go, no, I'm good. They'll show that to the AD and go, look who's calling me. It's Mr. Rays. And that's how it will go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I never thought it would be a guy like that. I never thought it would be a Ryan Day or anybody like that Texas A&M is going to be able to get.
There
the
are
ones that
people
they're
that-
going to be targeting are going to be the Mike Elkos, are going to be the Lance Leipolds.
Lance Leipold's
that level.
probably the high side of what I could see taking this job.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the high side.
Yeah.
And it's probably the best hire you can make, which is why I am so damn confident that that's not what you're going to do.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Lance would take that job. He's never struck me as he would take that job.
Well,
Is
he's
that what you're saying?
63, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is your last bite at the apple to make big boy money, and I hate to break it to you, Kansas doesn't have that kind of checkbook. Duke does.
Mm-hmm.
Because Duke's got high-level donors that really want to be good at football.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You paid attention to him closer than I have. You watched way more.
He wins everywhere he goes.
But you watched way more action than I did. But he never struck me as a high-dollar, take a lot of crap from the donors kind of a coach.
Well, and if he didn't take it, that would be why.
That's what I'm saying.
It's also hard for me to believe a guy that's literally pushing – I mean, he's 13 years into AARP is going to go, no, you know what? I want to stay here at Kansas and make $2 million when you're offering me $8 million.
Well,
I struggle to believe that.
Do that, I guess.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. It's what they have to do every single time. That's how they wound up with Jimbo.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo was had 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel at Florida State. It was the worst kept secret in all of college football. And then Texas A&M comes in and thinks they're like thieves in the night because they stole a coach from Florida State. I'm going to give you the same analogy that I gave you yesterday. This would be like the girlfriend that had cheated on you 100 times. She cheated on you the last time, and then she's like, well, I'm leaving you for Brad. Brad looks at you like, ha, look what I got. Yeah. Come see me in a couple years, bro.
You can have it,
I
Brad.
don't believe you're going to – I don't think that's going to age particularly well. Brad.
Mm-hmm. And that, ladies and gentlemen, came from a very personal place. Just in case you didn't know.
It's really not, but every time I say the name Brad, Tank immediately.
That scenario seemed very familiar to some stories I've heard in the past.
Well,
and I went, you know what? I feel like there's some truth to this whole thing.
Well, here's the thing. Before I met HWA, Jeremy dated like Texas A&M hired. Didn't do it so good.
It's because you always had the Jimbo Fisher revolving door of give me more, right?
Well, you know, my therapist would agree with you if I had one of those.
Mm-hmm. He a dog. And not necessarily in a good way.
A lot of times in a good way.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Jeremy's bangers for the night are coming up next.
Some action.
Some action time.
It's Degeneration Maction.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. We're going to be, by the way, hanging out on Thursday after the show. Y'all come by the Ingalls in Irwin Hills, 575 New Leicester Highway. Jeremy and I are going to be there from 4 until 6 this Thursday for Manna Food Bank. It's the kickoff of the Ingalls Giving Tree. We'll be taking donations, hanging out. Come on down. I think there's a Register to Win contest as well. But come on down 4 to 6 on Thursday, Ingalls at 575 New Leicester Highway. That's the Irwin Hills Ingalls. We'll be hanging out there for Manna Food Bank and Ingalls Markets. When we come back for the break, it'll be time for Jeremy's bangers of the night. And then after the top of the hour, of course, it's Power Rankings Tuesday. This is why we are here.
At Ingalls, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thank you for your kindness in the aisles and your smiles at the register. Thank you for supporting our efforts to help our neighbors in need. Thank you for trusting us to feed your family with food from farms close to home. Thanks for everything, and happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 60 years.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Don't let unused insurance dollars go to waste. Most insurance plans cover 2 dental cleanings and exams each year before expiring on January 1st. Maximize the dental insurance benefits you're already paying for and schedule your exam today with Asheville Smiles. Dr. Merrill's mission is world-class dental through technology and research. You'll get the most advanced treatment with the comforts of home. Schedule your exam now before the end of the year rush. AshevilleSmiles.com. That's AshevilleSmiles.com.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge is back. Just log on to WWNC.com and go to contest, and you can sign in to make your picks. Each weekly winner wins a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. Make your picks now.
At Summit Dental, they're more than just a dental practice. Summit Dental is a relationship-based healthcare provider. Dr. Reinhardt's passion lies in quality care, not patient numbers. Experience personalized dental service to prioritize your overall health. You'll receive transparent, comfortable, and compassionate care from the staff at Summit Dental because you deserve the very best of dental care. Summit Dental is accepting new patients. Visit AshevilleSummitDental.com. That's AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Have your outdoors and running water, too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty john.
Ew!
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
Coffee store closes on.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It's a Tuesday, and that means it's time for your weekly dose of degeneration maction. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. I'm going to give you these in order of my confidence in them. We start with Western Michigan, plus the 5.5 at Northern Illinois. The thing I'm most confident of here, over. I don't care what the number is. I don't care how high it gets. It was at 56.5 this morning. It could be the 60 by the time this game kicks off. I still don't care. They both play really fast. They both have a chance to be bowl eligible. And the loser of this game, their season is over. I'm taking Western Michigan to cover a 5.5 number in a close game. I don't even begin to know who's going to win, but I think it's a field goal game on either side. Next, Bowling Green's a 10-point dog at home against Toledo. Toledo is the best team in this conference, and it's not particularly close. However, the Falcons are in a rivalry game, and they have been very, very good to me. So I'm taking the 10 with Bowling Green. Toledo probably wins, but I'm not touching the money line at over minus 400. That's not enough odds for me, and it is a rivalry game. Finally, the one I love the most, Eastern Michigan's a 4-point favorite at home against Akron. Has Vegas watched Akron play football? Because they're awful. I mean, horror awful. Like, unwatchable. Holy good gracious, did you guys just meet each other bad? EMU, they can still make a bowl. It's not going to be a good one and not going to be one you have any desire to watch, but it's still a bowl game, and they could make it. I honestly think this game could be 52-0, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least. And I'm only giving up 4 points. Hammer it. Give me Eastern Michigan minus the 4. For more, find us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Temperatures again this afternoon running several degrees above average. It'll be cooler Wednesday, milder for the end of the week, with showers Thursday night into Friday. Clouds increasing for us this afternoon, middle to even upper 60s. Down around or below 40 tonight, cloudy, cooler, middle to upper 50s tomorrow. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds at times Thursday, low 60s. Scattered showers Thursday night and Friday, highs Friday, low 60s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away? Check out QC Kinetics for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. With locations in Asheville and Greenville.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly, so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400, the Sportsocracy. We're heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. Get your thoughts in on Power Rankings Tuesday. As always, start from the bottom. And we call it the poop tier. Or do you have a special cute name for it? Do you have a special theme for this week? Let's
see. I don't have one off the top of my head, no. It's just dumpster juice to the highest extreme.
It is, especially when you start at the bottom with number 32.
The New York Football Giants.
Gross. You just lost to your bitter rival. What was it, 83-17?
And you scored 17 points, and I'm pretty sure they had the water boys in for practically all of them.
Oh.
The biggest story that came out of this week about the Giants is that Tommy DeVito's mommy still makes his bed. Oh.
It's a hell of a deal. I wouldn't want to have to live on my own in New York anyway.
There are a lot of rumblings around the New York Giants that Brian Daboll's not going to survive this, that players don't like him, there is tension in the locker room, and I usually would not give a lot of credence to that because these reports come out about bad teams all the time. Then watch him on the sideline. Have you ever noticed that Brian Daboll doesn't talk to players ever?
Yep.
He never acknowledges them. And that's weird to me. You would think with a team that at this point is this young and this bad that you would see Brian Daboll doing some more hands-on things. You don't.
Well, I think I mean, I don't know. I'm guessing here, but maybe he sees that as more of an OC job. I don't know. Is that something that
I don't know. Mike Kafka's up in the booth. So
right.
You got nobody on the sideline, and there are times that this offense just looks around and goes, what are we doing?
Does he feel like that should be left up to position coaches or something? I mean, the only interaction that I saw clipped out and spread around social media after that Giants game was him giving Tommy DeVito the look like, I wish you weren't born. I really wish
our quarterback was any idiot but you, because you can't throw.
Right. Like, I can't read lips, but it looked like he said, what the hell was that when he came off the field? And Tommy DeVito just shrugged his shoulders like, I don't know.
My mommy made my bed. I got a juice box. You like a sip of my juice box? I do. We don't take much time with the poop tier teams, but I do have to ask this question.
Yep.
Do you think the New York Football Giants take a quarterback?
Yes.
I don't. I firmly don't.
Really?
It's experience with the Mara family, and I get Joe Shane not Joe Shane. His name just went right out of my head.
Joe Shane's the general manager.
Yes.
Is that who you're trying to think of?
I've been throwing shade at Buffalo and at the Giants, and Shane came from Buffalo, and I got confused. Sorry. He's spent all of these rounds going to see the quarterbacks. Well, of course he has.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that means they're going to make some big move up to go get one for your sake? I surely hope not.
Are they going to have to make a move up to get one? You can sit right where you're at and get one at number 2 at least. If not, I'm going to have the number 1 pick in the draft.
I don't know. The Giants may end up accidentally winning a game or two.
They gave
I don't know who would be against.
Look, I'm taking the bath, right? I'm taking the $40 million bath on Daniel Jones next year because I got no more guaranteed money left on that deal after that.
Well,
I'll take the $40 million hit and draft me a quarterback.
Here's, in my opinion, how this is going to be sculpted. The line was killed. We didn't have Andrew Thomas the entire year, practically. And we want to see if Daniel Jones can refine that fire that he had behind a legit line with everybody healthy. Do I think that's what you should do? No. I'm not talking about what you should do. I could spend 3 hours every day for the rest of my life talking about what teams should do.
Yeah,
I'm saying what I think you're going to do.
Don't do that. I
have a weird feeling they end up taking Marvin Harrison Jr. They wind up with the second pick.
Mm-hmm.
They take him at 2 and say, now we'll see Daniel Jones with a legit 1 and another year Waller. Didn't say it was going to get better. Just said that's how I think this is going to go.
Do they keep Brian Daboll?
2 weeks ago, I would have said 100% yes. Now I'm to 80-20 yes. The things out of the building are weird because you know what question I'm going to ask. Who wants you to know that? All these things that come out about tension in the locker room, who's telling you this and why?
Yeah.
And the Mara family has always been very pro player. So if you get a bunch of players that go up there and go, look, this guy's just a jerk, and we don't want to play for him, maybe.
Yeah.
I just don't know who would take that job.
Okay.
It's such an unattractive job at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole rebuild on the offense.
Number 31.
Speaking of whole rebuilds on the offense, the New England Patriots. We made it, folks. All of us that are not Patriots fans, we've lived long enough to see them be in the bottom of the poop tier. And you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Nope.
New England is the number 1 team in the NFL that I look at and go, when you play the highlight tape of 2023, what are you going to show? Because I feel like that would be one picture of the fireworks in week 1, and thank you for watching our video, because that's all I got.
Yeah. This is going to be the most depressing season recap NFL Films video ever.
It should just be a 5-minute highlight video of Christian Gonzalez just going, we drafted that guy.
No, it's actually, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be 5-minute recap on the season, and then it's going to be 25 minutes of just, hey, remember what it was like when we were good before we fired Bill Belichick.
Have you seen the stat about Tom Brady?
No.
In the last 2.5 years, and in the break, I'll pull up the exact numbers. They have lost 70% of the games in 2.5 years that they lost in 20 years with Tom Brady.
Wow.
20 years.
Yep.
They're over 70% of the way there in 2.5.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no argument anymore.
Mm-mm.
We know who it was.
And if you ever,
we know who has all the credit for it now, and Bill needs to step aside before it gets worse.
Well, if you haven't read the article from ESPN.com talking about their draft kerfuffles and how you got here, it's a great read, and it's 100% accurate. When you look at the names that Bill Belichick has drafted over the course of the last handful of years, it is not hard to figure out how they got here. And Bill Belichick it can't win every year. I got news for you. You're 5 years away. If you hit on every draft pick, you're 5 years away. That's how far down this roster is.
Yep.
Now, could you hit on a quarterback? Absolutely. I don't love the two in this draft. I don't. And I don't know where you go from here. This will be the true tell of how great an owner Robert Kraft is. I think he's the best owner in sports.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been envious of the Kraft family in terms of ownership and from the top down. But you're going to have to get this coaching hire right. You're going to have to get this GM search right because it's time.
Number 30.
The Carolina Panthers.
Changing offensive coordinators. Did
That
it
worked.
matter? Did it
That worked
happen?
real good,
Did
didn't
it do anything to make you feel better about this team?
No. I mean, you just lost to the Bears. But, hey, at least you covered. And it's a thing. It's not whether you win or lose, whether you cover the spread.
Indeed.
I mean, the thing for Carolina is that you do have some winnable games on the way out in the hopes that you didn't give up the number one pick. The problem is that I don't see a way you get out of the top 5. And when you look at the talent that's in the top 5 of this class, this is why you don't trade up. Every NFL team that needs a quarterback, and I'll just give you the list of ones that I have heard in the last handful of weeks. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Green Bay Packers, the New York Giants, the New England Patriots, all of you that are screaming, oh, we have to go up and get a quarterback. I want you to watch Carolina and just go full bird box and pry your eyes open as it happens. Because this is how it can go wrong. When you give up all that draft capital because you think you're only the quarterback away. I got news for you. For every team I just said, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. You need exponentially more. Stand pat. Stand pat. There's a reason we've only had a handful of trades for the number one pick in the modern era. Because most of them have been disasters. Not all, but most.
But most of them.
And Carolina is
number 1 on the list right now. Because it's fresher in our minds.
Oh, I don't know if I'd go number 1 on the list yet. We're still – I don't know that Bryce Young won't figure it out eventually. Mm-hmm. What's making it look so bad is that you have C.J. Stroud, who very well may be the MVP.
Right now, it looks like the worst move ever.
And it could go down that way.
Mm-hmm. One is MVP level 8 games into his career. The other one can't seem to –
The other one looks like Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, there's a comparison on Twitter putting the two side by side. I'm telling you right now, Panther fans, avoid that. Because if you just ate lunch, it will not stay. There will be a reversal of fortune real fast.
Number 29.
The Chicago Bears. Hey, you're still bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need to say much more than that.
Nope.
You're still bad, but bad.
Yep.
The good thing is that your job is getting more attractive. Because Montez Sweat was impactful. Matt Eberflus, I think at this point he could gain the ability to fly, and it wouldn't keep him employed. But you're going to have 2 top 5 picks that add talent to a roster that has talent, just doesn't have enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you need somebody that can draft. Ryan Poles is not the guy. And so to me, Chicago is in the midst of a full house cleaning.
Yes.
I think you have to get rid of the GM, you got to get rid of the coach, you got to get rid of Justin Fields, and just start all over.
I agree.
Find a G, and frankly, this was floated. I don't remember where I heard this, but it's probably the smartest thing I've heard from a Bears fan page in a long time. Wait for the Jets to fire Joe Douglas, because they're gonna. Call him immediately. Give him whatever he wants and tell him he can hire his staff, he can draft his quarterback, he can do whatever he wants, and just let him build your roster.
Number 28.
The Los Angeles Rams. Hey, you get your quarterback back this week.
That's right.
Yay. You're still not good.
No, but at least you can score points and look competitive when Matthew Stafford's on the field. You cannot win with the ripping and the tearing.
And I agree with you. You can score points until you look at who they have left to play.
Mm-hmm.
You do catch Arizona. Unfortunately, you catch them with Kyler Murray. You do catch the Giants, who are bad, and you're going to win that game. You can't score with Washington. I don't think. You're not beating Washington. I mean, you might score points, and I'll take the over right now, sight unseen. I don't care what the number is. Do you know who the other 5 teams are that they play?
Who?
Arguably the 5 best defenses in the league. New Orleans, Cleveland, Seattle, San Francisco, and the Baltimore Ravens. Good luck with that. All 5 of them will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Not just beat you. They will physically embarrass you. Seattle owes you one. You already beat them.
Yep.
The other 4, good luck with that.
And here's another team. Why should you want to win?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't. You said falafel them picks for way too long, and now it has caught up to you.
Yep.
And you have 2 receivers and a quarterback and practically nothing else.
All right, number 27.
The Tennessee Titans.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I mean, I thought we were going to see another rookie record, and that didn't happen against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, were we too quick on Will Levis?
No, it's going to take time. And Tampa Bay did that one thing that teams in the SEC did from time to time. He's going to have to figure out how to get past that. Will Levis is a lot. I've equated him to John Rocker of his fastball, practically unhittable, unless you really lay on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Tampa Bay did. All right, drop 7 guys. He's not going to beat us over the top. Can you dink and dunk us because you're so impatient? He has to learn patience. But I've seen enough that I think, and anybody that says we were too quick, just understand I had Will Levis as the number 2 quarterback in this class. So, 2 or 3, depending on what time of the season it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I flip-flopped a little bit when I started hearing things about his personality. And that's when I put Stroud ahead of him, which I've already admitted we don't need to talk about that anymore.
Right.
That was one of those that'll haunt me for a long time.
That was a whoopsie.
Will Levis is still – he's the prospect that you need. You've got to have some form of consistency. Tennessee has been like a hot griddle for quarterbacks. Nobody ever gets comfortable outside of Ryan Tannehill. You have to fully commit to this kid. But I'm going to tell you this point blank, and you watch this game, you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a quarterback on the planet that could survive behind that offensive line on Sunday.
No.
I don't care who it was. C.J. Stroud would have gotten sacked 9 times.
Yep.
It's just when your line's that bad, because they have 5 guys that do not, outside of Skoronski, they don't have an offensive lineman that even grades as an NFL talent at this point. So that's the number one thing you got to fix. The New York Jets and the Tennessee Titans, you both have a horrific offensive line problem, and nothing you put behind that is going to matter until you fix it.
Yep. Next up at number 26, the team that just got their quarterback back, and they're threatening to pull out of the poo tier. We'll talk about them up next.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Black Friday is Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get limited time deals, free shipping, and huge savings on laptops like the XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Today's news requires more facts, more context, and more analysis. The world's never been harder to understand. That's why it's never been more important to try. MSNBC. Understand more.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The Gillette Intimate Trimmer gives you a gentle, easy way to trim your pubic region.
Or you could try waxing. Nope. From America's #1 trusted men's grooming brand, the best a man can get, down there. Buy Gillette Intimate at a retailer near you.
Get early access to Macy's Black Friday specials and save big on gifts for everyone on your list right now while supplies last. Like winter-ready women's sweaters, $12.99 to $19.99. Fine jewelry, 60 to 75% off. And cozy up to comfy throws, just $9.99 to $39.99. Plus, get your online order even faster with store pickup, now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes.
Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with year 2 of my podcast, The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. We'll bring in top GMs and coaches and give you the story behind the story that you're probably not getting anywhere else. Each week, I'll bring you conversations on the inside and give you the chance to get to know your favorite personalities in a different way. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
All right, we got a couple left in the poop tier here on the Week 11 NFL Power Ranking Show in the Sportsocracy. Number 26.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Kyler Murray comes back, gives a little jolt to the offense. They are able to beat the Atlanta Falcons this past week. A last-second field goal. I could see them climbing out of this poop tier here real soon.
I don't know.
You don't know about that? I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to go in and beat the Texans next week.
Have you seen the rest of the schedule?
I mean, they do play the Rams. You might be able to win a thriller there. They've had a lot of shootout games between those two teams.
No doubt. But your secondary is still awful, and you have to deal with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Good luck with that.
Yeah, you're not going to Pittsburgh and winning. You're not going to beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Or the Seahawks or the Eagles. You have the Bears and the Rams. End of message, repeat the line. And here's the thing. You don't want to win games. You need to get pieces for Kyler Murray. Working on doing that. You have 2 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Just continue. It's all part of the plan.
Just lose, baby.
Just lose, baby.
But you turn in another 25-point performance, and you'll climb over the next team in the power rankings here at number 25.
The Jets, Jets.
Oh, you finally cracked into the poop tier here. We've gone full circle from being top of the list in week 1 to bottom of the list in week 2, and then back to the middle, and then now back to the bottom because you cannot play offense.
I am so tired of this team.
You should
If I wanted to spend 3 hours a weekend watching 53 dudes not score, I'd take my friends to a bar and I'd sit in a corner booth and wait. This is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life.
Uh-huh.
You want to fix the border crisis? Ask the New York Jets what their touchdown chalk is made out of. Because apparently nobody can cross it.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate this team so, and I hate Robert Saleh with his cryptic. Well, I don't know. We're going to change some strategic things. We're going to change up the scheme. Well, here's an idea: suck less. Maybe write that on a dry erase board today. Hey, you should be less bad at what you do, and Alan Lazard should be sent to the pit of misery. I'm a 30-year Jet fan. Alan Lazard has been with this team for 10 weeks. I am struggling to remember a Jet that I hated more.
Ooh.
And it's a doozy of a list.
Kyle
Neil
Brady.
O'Donnell. Kyle Brady was real high on that list. Alan Lazard, he's already cracked the top 10. And by the end of this year, he may be number 1. Just bad. Stop talking about Aaron Rodgers. Stop talking about any of this. None of it matters. You can't score, and you're stuck. End the message. Repeat the line. You asked for this with Aaron Rodgers. You got it. You knew there was a possibility he would get hurt, and if he did, you would be stuck with Nathaniel Hackett. You lived through his dad. You should have known vaguely how this would go without Aaron. That was my comment to Nathaniel Hackett. He's got exactly what he wants. Aaron Rodgers is going to do most of this on the fly. Zach Wilson won't.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say this. Zach Wilson's not the problem. He's not. No. You go back and watch the film. Watch the games. As my father used to so eloquently say when I was a kid, open your ears and close your mouth. Watch the games, and you'll figure out quickly it's not Zach Wilson. But he threw an interception at the 25-yard line. I got that because his receiver didn't come back to the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep doing this? Because I can do it as long as you want to. The line is god-awful, and that's on Joe Douglas. He will be the fall guy. The Jets are irrelevant. Moving on.
Number 24.
The Atlanta Falcons. Speaking of questionable coaching decisions.
There is a lot of talk around the Atlanta Falcons of what's going to happen. Are they going to fire Arthur Smith? Well, apparently word out of the building is no. Right now, Arthur Blank has given the support to Arthur Smith.
Ah, the dreaded vote of confidence, which means you should put your house on the market because you are D-U-N-E done.
Well, he has nothing to lean back on. I don't feel like there are too many positives to pull out of the Arthur Smith tenure here where he can go, don't fire me because of what?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I can look at the defense and go, you got talent.
Mm-hmm.
You have – I will say this. If Arthur Smith gets fired, this will be one of the most attractive jobs in the league. The only problem is that you need the toughest thing to find.
Yeah, you need a quarterback. You got to go find yourself somebody who's going to be out there on the market. Josh Dobbs. Doesn't make me feel great. Kirk Cousins. Maybe.
With Kirk Cousins, this is the best team in that division. It's not even close.
Agreed.
And
Problem
will
is,
be.
I don't know that you can get to him.
I don't either.
You might be able to, but without a quarterback, you're not going anywhere. And I don't like. Arthur Smith liked him fine. Thought he was, next big thing, and he's gotten to Atlanta, and it's just been a disappointment from what I was sold he was supposed to be.
Arthur Smith is a really easy evaluation. You want to buy him for what he thinks he is, and sell him for. Or wait, I said that backwards. You want to buy him for what he is and sell him for what he thinks he is.
Yep.
He thinks he is the smartest guy in every room, and he's not. The NFL has a great track record. Chip Kelly, I can do this with a bunch of dudes. You think you're reinventing the wheel. We're going to figure you out. And when we do, we're going to run you out of the league. And that's where he's headed.
Mm-hmm.
He's headed to being the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. 2 years from now.
Yep.
When it's TBD named quarterback after.
When the dark times come. Oh,
this
wait.
isn't the dark times?
This is the dark times.
Holy Lord.
The dark times never really end for you. And
New York Jet fandom. Where the sun never rises. And it's just dark all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Atlanta. But you've got talent. You just need a new coach.
Absolutely.
Arthur Smith's not it.
Speaking of needing a new coach, number 23.
The New Orleans Saints.
Yep,
I get it. That was too high. Tank told me that last week.
Mm-hmm.
He was right.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. They're bad.
I mean, the division is bad, but I think my team's the least bad. And this week's power rankings at least reflect that. Yeah, it's not anything to be happy about. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying facts are facts. Like, the New Orleans Saints, there's something real wrong there, and I think we all know what the problem is.
The only problem for you, in terms of your wanting to win the division, you have at least 4 losable games left. They don't.
Yeah. I don't want to win this division.
Yeah, New Orleans plays the Lions. Outside of that, the rest of the schedule is Carolina, the Giants, the Rams, the Falcons twice, and the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I still think New Orleans is going to win this division.
They may.
In terms of worst schedules in the NFL, New Orleans is 32, Atlanta's 31, Tampa Bay's 30.
Mm-hmm. If Mr. Glass,
you know why? Because they keep getting to play each other. Stop giving these teams automatic bids into the stupid playoffs.
If Mr. Glass keeps getting hurt, Jameis Winston can be just fine for this team.
They're not better with Jameis Winston.
I wasn't going to go that far, but I think you'd get more out of Chris Olave if you did.
No doubt. No doubt.
Think about how good Chris Godwin was when Jameis Winston was in Tampa Bay. You get that out of Chris Olave in a heartbeat. He'd be like top 3 wide receiver stats wise in this league.
I don't know that I agree with that, but he would be good.
He could be. Next up, number 22.
Hey, speaking of teams with quarterbacks that are a bit of a problem, the Green Bay Packers. I am here for like the 7th week in a row going, you people that are defending Jordan Love, you need to seek help because you're out of your damn mind. Just straight up out of it. Everybody had a good game against the Steelers. Okay. Yeah. There have been many mediocre quarterbacks that have had a good game here and there. And he was fine. Still made some maddeningly bad decisions. And I see nothing there. This week you get the Chargers, then you go to the Lions, then you go to the Chiefs. So you know what, all you Jordan Love apologists, let's put a pin in that for 3 weeks. And then after you play on a Sunday Night Football against Kansas City Chiefs, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Because I have a funny feeling I don't think you're ever going to see it my way, but you'll be a lot quieter at that point.
At 3-9, everyone will be on that side. Everyone will be willing to go, you know what? Okay.
You'd be shocked. Some of these Packer fans are holding on to Jordan Love like a baby holds on to a baby.
I guess we still got people trying to convince us about Justin Fields.
It's my baby, and I love it, and it's so good.
It just has to be. It's the thing that my franchise did, and it just has to be right.
Well, listen here, Landon. Your banky smells like diarrhea and formula.
I love that you went with Landon on that one.
It's the most millennial name I could think
of.
Skyler's also good.
Number 21.
The Indianapolis Colts. Gross.
I just have to shrug my shoulders when I see this team because okay. You're gonna be tough to play. I don't think anybody really wants to play you.
No.
But you're not gonna do anything that's gonna make me feel great. And this past Sunday proved that to me. Right, there's the Indianapolis Colts going up against the New England Patriots, and, I would think you could score more than once.
Maybe you would think
between the two
They're
of
just
them.
inconsistent. This is what happens when you have a mediocre quarterback. But Indianapolis is doing exactly what you wanted them to do. You're figuring out week in and week out what you've got and what you don't.
Yep.
So when Anthony Richardson comes back next year with a first-round pick that you add to that offense in some shape, form, or fashion, you'll be just fine. Here's what I don't understand. You brought in a defensive scheme that took your best player and made him a part-time player. Yeah. I don't understand that. Shaq Leonard's real good at football, and you should probably do that. I mean, I get that you have other players that are also good, but I don't understand.
I think I'd find a permanent role for that guy.
Or a permanent home for him, because somebody would – he's an off-ball linebacker, so you're not going to get a ton. But if you're not going to use him, somebody else will.
Right. Indianapolis Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's the next game for the Colts after their bye week this week.
That's
a Thanksgiving weekend game.
You got to be the weekend of giving thanks. You should give thanks that you don't pull for either of those teams, and you don't have to watch that game.
I'm not giving thanks.
Not you, Tank.
I'm not giving thanks because I'm going to Florida for Thanksgiving, and they're in Indianapolis. It's the way it always goes for me.
Well, you would think one would plan that out. They do release the schedule in May.
Well, I need to go to Florida, and I can't make them go to Florida. They're going to be in Indianapolis.
No, what I'm saying is you go a week that they're there.
Yeah, but that's not Thanksgiving.
Who cares?
Well, the family that we're going to see for Thanksgiving cares.
Well, looks
like they want to see us for Thanksgiving.
Looks like you're cooking 2 birds, Myrtle.
I'm coming on the week that the Bucks are in town.
I'm not flying to Florida without seeing some football.
Oh, we're not flying. You know me. I'm too cheap for that. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN.
12 hours in a car?
It's not 12 hours.
The way you drive, you might very well be right.
6 hours. Be there soon. You're in the Sportsocracy, the ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Temperatures again this afternoon running several degrees above average. It'll be cooler Wednesday, milder for the end of the week, with showers Thursday night into Friday. Clouds increasing for us this afternoon, middle to even upper 60s. Down around or below 40 tonight, cloudy, cooler, middle to upper 50s tomorrow. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds at times Thursday, low 60s. Scattered showers Thursday night and Friday, highs Friday, low 60s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Black Friday is Dell's biggest sale of the year. Get limited time deals, free shipping, and huge savings on laptops like the XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Join the Asheville Symphony Saturday, November 18th for an all-American concert featuring Copeland's Lincoln Portrait with narrator Brian Terrell Clark, known best as Hamilton's George Washington on Broadway, the newly commissioned Cold Mountain Suite by Jennifer Higdon, and more. Don't miss the third Masterworks concert, American Portraits, Saturday, November 18th, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Tickets on sale now at AshevilleSymphony.org, by phone at 828-254-7046, or at the Asheville Symphony box office at 27 College Place.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Welcome your guest into a healthy home this Thanksgiving by calling the Cleaning Pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get $30 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR30 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingalls, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thank you for your kindness in the aisles and your smiles at the register. Thank you for supporting our efforts to help our neighbors in need. Thank you for trusting us to feed your family with food from farms close to home. Thanks for everything, and happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 60 years.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
It's ESPN Asheville Power Rankings Tuesday. Working our way through the list here, the terrible teams.
Yeah, we're still in terrible town.
Oh, yeah, we're still in terrible town. We're not going to get out of it here for a few picks. Because next up at number 20.
Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Damn right. Sucks to suck, right?
You're bad.
Yeah, but all these teams are. And again, I mean, you know, it's all well and good that, you know, Baker's playing some of the best football of his career. There's no arguing that.
That's like saying Gary Busey's a little less crazy today than he's been in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Buttered sausage.
Yep. Problem is this team ain't going nowhere. You got the 49ers and the Colts coming up on the road, and I'm not sure you can win either of those games. I know you can't beat San Francisco.
No.
Pretty sure you can't beat Indianapolis, but we'll see.
No, this week will be a sweet bloodletting. Then you have to go to Indy. There's some more winnable games. Mm-hmm. I am getting to a confident point where the winner of the NFC South is going to be sub 500.
I don't know about that.
Well, you played the most god-awful schedule in the NFL, and I still have no faith that you can get to 9 wins.
Yeah.
Or the Saints, or the Falcons, and the Panthers have almost been statistically eliminated from that.
Best case scenario, though, I mean, Tampa could get to 10. You could theoretically get to 10. If you were able to pick up that one against the Colts, you can beat both. You can beat the Panthers twice. You can beat the Falcons. You can beat the Packers and beat the Saints.
In Lambeau in the middle of December.
Doesn't scare me. Not with this team.
Should. Yeah, that's. I'm going to re-harken back to that Georgia-South Carolina game. I'm not worried. You ought to be.
Yeah.
You can lose to anybody.
Sure.
And you can't beat anybody.
Sure.
So, it's just, get rid of division winners. It's stupid. It's been stupid. It will continue to be stupid.
Right. I mean, that's rosiest glasses. I have said since the beginning of the season, I felt this team was bad. I still feel like they're bad. They're just the best in a real bad division. Number 19.
This is the first of a set of teams that would easily win your division if they were in it, but unfortunately for them, they're not. The Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
You're fine. I don't really know what else to say. Yeah, you beat Buffalo, but it required 4 turnovers for you to do it, and some of the most god-awful game management I've ever seen. But it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win. You'll get your logo back into the playoff contention hunt, and you'll hang out there for not long. It won't take long for you to be chewed up and spit out because you play the Vikings this week. That's probably a win. Then you have 4 very losable games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've said with all these bad teams that have no shot to make the playoffs, your goal is to figure out what you have and what you don't. And I can tell you definitively what you don't have is a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And before you tell me about his touchdown-to-interception ratio, ask yourself this question. Did you at any point last night think that Russell Wilson was going to be able to outduel Josh Allen if Josh Allen didn't turn the ball over?
No. He doesn't get that kind of credence anymore.
Yeah, stop propping up mediocre, and Russell Wilson right now is the definition of mediocre. I'd say he's the 16th best quarterback in the league.
Yep.
And you're paying him as the 6th.
Mm-hmm.
That is a problem that will keep you from being high-level competitive until you're not doing it anymore.
Yep.
Now, what do you do at quarterback? I have no idea. That's up to Sean Payton. He's the end-all, be-all there. So if he falls in love with a guy, don't be shocked if they draft one this year.
Yep. Back-to-back wins over big-name teams, I guess we can put it that way. Think less of the Buffalo Bills, obviously, with the downslide that they've taken since earlier in the season. But they beat the Chiefs last week they were out with the bye week sandwiched in between these 2 wins. You know, you may win some games down the stretch, but I doubt there are many wins left. And I think at this point you got to look at Sean Payton and go, it's not as big of a disaster as we thought it was.
No.
A couple of weeks ago.
No, he's a fine veteran coach. I don't think he's an elite coach, and I probably never will.
Yep.
But he's mitigating risk, and he won a few games.
Spunky upstart coach, number 18.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Antonio Pierce, now 2-0 as a head coach in the NFL.
Woohoo. Go ahead.
They're terrible. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're not.
They're still bad.
Yeah, they're not.
Nah. I don't see how you keep saying that.
I don't see how you keep saying that they're terrible. I really don't.
Okay.
Because, and this is, I think I find myself doing this with you a lot,
Mm-hmm.
where you're looking way too much at, well, I don't know who that guy is. Or there are a lot of Robert Spillanes out there that need to be put in the right scheme. And I'm not saying Antonio Pierce changed the scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Pierce put a hot poker to the keister of 53 dudes that didn't think that anybody believed in them. I will give you a story that they told on Sunday Night Football at least 3 times.
Okay.
Josh Jacobs had not been asked what runs he wanted into the game script since John Gruden. That matters. All of those things matter. Is it going to last forever? No, because you don't have top 15 talent in the league. Will it get you through games with the Giants and the Jets? Absolutely. And it might get you through one with the Dolphins this week. It wouldn't shock me in the least. It also wouldn't shock me in the least if they come out here and score 45 points on you. I don't think you're going to beat the Chiefs, but then you get into games with the Vikings and the Chargers and the Colts and the Broncos. That's 4 winnable games that would put this team at 9-8.
Mm-hmm.
You win a game you're not supposed to, and they're battling for the playoffs, and they have the talent to do that. Because you have a high-end number 1 receiver, you have a high-end number 2 receiver, you got a quarterback that's got a cannon of an arm, but he's a rookie. You got a good running back. You got a lot of things. You got one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the league. Name me the team that's below them that has any of the things that I just said.
Mm-hmm.
There's not one. I'm not telling you this is a Super Bowl contender. That's where you're getting lost in this. You keep telling me how much they suck. No, look at how bad the rest of the team and the rest of the teams below them are. That's been the only argument I've had the entire time. There are two things that I can tell you 100% definitively. There are 14 teams making the NFL playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be 7 in the AFC and 7 in the NFC. And I don't know how good you are at math, but you can count off what's below them, and I don't believe in not nary one team below them. Not saying I have a great faith in them. I just believe in them more than the rest.
Yeah, you just have them at the top of the irrelevant tier.
And that's the point. 30 teams in the NFL can't be terrible. This is all on a sliding scale. If you're the 18th best team in the league, and frankly, I can't have them any lower than that, and I could have had them a little higher than this, because I think they're better than at least 2 of the next 3 teams. Record wouldn't suggest that, but we'll get to that when we get there. That means you're not as bad as you quantify them. That's been the only argument I've had the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a bottom 12 team in this league, and I don't think they're even close to it.
Yeah.
And all they needed was a coach that wasn't absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm. You know, obviously I can't disagree with anything you said. All of those are facts, and they have some talent. I still don't think they're very good. Just because they beat your team, I don't think they're anything special. And
nobody's ever said they're special. You keep making this sound like they're the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not, and it's not even close. They're way closer to the back end of the playoffs than they are to that tier you keep putting them in.
Sure. I don't disagree. I still feel like they're bad, though. I mean, I know technically.
Okay, then in your opinion, there are 20 bad teams in the NFL.
Yes.
And that, to me, is insane.
Really? We've just been talking about how all of these teams so far suck.
The bottom tier of the NFL is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Awful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking Patriots. I'm talking Giants. I'm talking everybody that was at the beginning of this.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them from, I'll say, probably 26 to 12. You put them on a field and play them against each other, they beat each other on any given Sunday.
Okay.
There is a way more meaty tier in the middle of this league than you let on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, I could have gone up all the way up to probably 6 on that.
Of what, teams that would lose to anybody on any given day?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Number 17.
The Washington Commanders. The Raiders and the Commanders are the same team.
Okay.
You have talent.
Mm-hmm.
You have talent.
Mm-hmm.
You had a huge coaching issue. I still think you have a coaching issue with the Raiders, but you've got this belief. It's Rich Bisaccia 2.0, like Patrick Holt said in our YouTube comments.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a guy that really believes in them. Washington has a guy that I don't think they really believe in. They really like, and the offense is doing nice things. Sam Howell's leading the NFL in passing yards, which will never stop feeling weird to come out of my mouth. He's a really good quarterback. The offense is good. Your corners are terrible. Genuinely terrible. The defensive scheme is terrible. And that's supposed to be what Ron Rivera does.
And Jack Del Rio.
Both of them. They're both terrible, and they both need to go.
Yes.
Now, I will say this. You had a belief that Eric Bieniemy was going to get this job at some point, and I'm not sure you're wrong.
I think it becomes more and more evident every day.
Well, because the offense is the only thing keeping this team afloat.
Mm-hmm. As Sam Howell continues to lead many of the categories in the quarterback position, he's number 1 in yards, and I think he's top 5 in everything else. That kind of lends into where I thought this was going to go, was that you got 1 year. If the offense shows you something, then Ron Rivera's done. Guess what? The offense has shown you something, and Ron Rivera, there's been nothing but talk of firing him for the last, 5 weeks?
Yeah, and it's coming. Jonathan Wells said the Commanders are 2 years ahead of Vegas. I'm going to need you to explain that, and you're going to have to work real hard at it. You both have quarterbacks that I think are your quarterbacks for the future. You both have weapons. Both of your offensive lines are terrible. You both have a couple pieces on the defense. That describes both of you. That's why you're sandwiched right on top of each other.
Yeah, one's not light years ahead of the other one.
No, to me, they're the exact same team. You just need a coach for the long haul that's actually, I don't know, competent.
Mm-hmm.
I like Antonio Pierce. He's fine, but he also spends 60 minutes of a game with the little microphone on his headset on top of his head. Not a lot of adjustments there. I saw it against the Jets.
Yeah. Well, that's not what
Washington, and that's a whole different topic.
Right.
Ron Rivera, I watched him against Seattle and just went, this is such a winnable game, and you're going to find a way to not winnable it. And he did.
Mm-hmm. Need to clean house, though. That coaching staff needs to be cleaned out.
Oh, speaking of teams that are just the same.
Number 16.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. You are giving Chris Angel, was it Chris Angel?
Mind Freak?
Mind Freak.
Yeah.
You're giving him a run for his money as the greatest illusionist I've ever seen.
He was.
How many games can one team win that they had absolutely no business winning? And the difference in these three teams. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Of the three teams on the screen, who has the best roster?
Commanders? Raiders? It's one of the two.
That was
not the Steelers.
That was my point.
Mm-hmm.
Either answer's right. I can't tell you which one's wrong.
Coaching makes a difference.
Coaching makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tomlin is a real good coach. He may not be an elite coach, and I think he gets a lot of flack for that. At the end of the day, he's got a team that is firmly in playoff position that has no business being there. None. The line is not particularly good. You can't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister unless it's Jaylen Warren, of which every single week that becomes more and more obvious, and yet Matt Canada's, no, I will run Najee Harris at the 3-yard line, and I'll do it 4 times if I have to.
Yes, he will.
And then defensively, your secondary is.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get after the quarterback.
Yes, you can. And
with a good coach, you can keep winning games that you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. And you can nasty out and grind out games, out wins.
And I'm here for maybe the 430th time to say that this is all going to flip on Pittsburgh at some point, and you're going to start losing these games. So I'm looking at the rest of the schedule going, you play the Ravens, they're better than you. The Seahawks, the Browns, 2 at the Bengals, they're all better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Every single team I just said is better than you, and I don't know that it's all that close. But if you find a way to win one, you're sitting at 10 wins because the other 3 are the Colts, the Cardinals, and the Patriots.
Yep.
And with a coach like Mike Tomlin, you're not losing to any of those teams. And then you go to the playoffs and get beat by $143 billion.
So congratulations on being, yet again, a good but overall mediocre team. Number 15.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Josh Dobbs.
I don't know what this is not real. This is a Disney movie. I saw somebody post this on Twitter that this has the script of a Disney movie where Josh Dobbs has to decide whether he's going to play quarterback in the Super Bowl or fly to Mars. Like that's what this is. It's nonsensical crap.
To make more sense of it, somebody posted in the chat earlier, and I don't know who did it, so I would give you credit if I remembered who posted it, but somebody said Joshua Dobbs is Ryan Fitzpatrick 2.0, and I now can't get it out of my head because it's perfect. He is the journeyman quarterback that can come in and win you games, but he is not somebody that I want to turn this franchise over to. I might do it from here and from time to time, like I don't know, the Buffalo Bills did for a while with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did for a while with Ryan Fitzpatrick, but it's never a long-term solution, and I think that's exactly what Joshua Dobbs is.
The only thing that's different between Josh Dobbs and Ryan Fitzpatrick is he doesn't have that sweet beard or the sweet mullet.
Oh, he did it. He did it. That's a medical condition. You should be more sensitive.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about that. I just said Ryan Fitzpatrick has a glorious beard, much like mine. And no, whichever one of you is about to say that Ryan Fitzpatrick and I look like brothers, you're not the first. It's not new, and it's not funny anymore.
We all know what you did.
I also have a sweet gold chain, just like he did in that Tampa Bay press conference.
The Minnesota Vikings, though, I mean, the defense is better than I thought it was. Now, again,
Brian
we talked
Flores
about
is
this
doing
yesterday.
a whale of a job.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday, though. They have played dog water teams, so maybe the stats are a little skewed, but they are playing much better than we thought they would.
Well, they don't stop playing dog water teams.
And I didn't think that the offense – I told you at the beginning of the season that the offense was going to carry this team.
Yeah.
Now I feel like they've kind of come to the middle, and they're just goodish on both sides.
One of the craziest stats you'll ever hear. The 2023 Minnesota Vikings are 1-5 with Justin Jefferson and 5-0 without him.
That's insane.
Figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yep.
And Kevin O'Connell's done a great job. You still got games with Chicago, Green Bay. You got 2 with Denver and the Raiders. You need to find a way to split those 2 at worst, and that probably puts you in the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to beat the Bengals, and I don't like your chances of beating the Lions either time.
Speaking of Joshua Dobbs, have you seen the TikTok videos? I saw about 5 of them over the weekend of Houston Texans fans shaving their faces, shaving their eyebrows off, and they're shaving it all. They're going full Josh Dobbs.
No,
you haven't seen that. It's pretty funny because that's going to be a goofy looking stadium at some point.
Yeah, I'll pass.
It's the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We've got to take a quick break. When we come back, Jeremy will have his favorite parlay of the night in Maction, and then we'll continue with Power Rankings Tuesday. The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP.
The Beast Unleashed.
With 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed. Available at your local retailer.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Hey, it's Tank Spencer. Join Jeremy Green and I this Thursday from 4 to 6 at the Ingalls at 575 New Leicester Highway to support Manna Food Bank and the Ingalls Giving Tree. Stop by and make a donation and register to win free groceries from Ingalls Markets and the Sportsocracy.
One day of Black Friday bargains just ain't enough, so you can find unbeatable savings all month long at AutoStar Chevrolet of Waynesville. Saddle up a brand new Chevrolet right now, make 0 payments till next year. Or how about 1.9% financing on select models? Get yourself a new ride for less at AutoStar Chevrolet of Waynesville. Come on, let's drive. High Creek Road, Waynesville, or find them online at WaynesvilleChevrolet.com.
Buy your next car from an AutoStar.
Offers with free credit, not all buyers will qualify. 1.9% financing available on select models. See new details must have delivered by 11/30/23.
Hey, what do you want for the holidays?
Ooh, how about new boots? Or a popcorn machine? A sports car, the kind with the cool doors? A trip to Ibiza? Sushi chef? Robot butler?
Skip the guessing game and give a gift that could make any dream come true. With over $85 million in total prizes, new holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are on everyone's wish list.
Ship in a bottle, Moose Muss Cologne, couples trampoline?
Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
This is what parlay football's all about. You stack a bunch of things you don't want to watch and hope it works. It almost worked for me last night, but Russell Wilson didn't throw enough. I hit every other leg of that, including the race to 10, which is really hard to hit. I'm going to hit one of these one day very soon, and I think it might be tonight with Maction. We start with Toledo Bowling Green. I gave you Bowling Green plus the 10.5 of the first hour. I'm going over in this game. Bowling Green's defense has been really good in the last few games, but Toledo is the most dynamic offense in this conference, and I think Bowling Green will do enough to get to the over. I would say this game finishes somewhere in the neighborhood of 35-31, and that's more than enough to go over the 50.5. Next, Akron and Eastern Michigan. Gave you Eastern Michigan in the first hour. I'm going over again. 39 is not enough because Akron couldn't stop a nosebleed with a roll of paper towels, and Eastern Michigan may cover this by themselves. Eastern Michigan minus the 3.5 over the 39. In the final game, Western Michigan at Northern Illinois, I gave you the Northern Illinois side of this in the first hour over the 56.5. These two are going to score early. They're going to score often. And if you take all 6 of those and you combine them together and you put 5 on it just like I am, that leads to a plus 49.64 line, which would pay out $253.23. Take these wagers to betus.com. Use our promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit match on your initial investment and up to 30 risk-free bets so you can wager football with us all season long.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Temperatures again this afternoon running several degrees above average. It'll be cooler Wednesday, milder for the end of the week, with showers Thursday night into Friday. Clouds increasing for us this afternoon, middle to even upper 60s. Down around or below 40 tonight, cloudy, cooler, middle to upper 50s tomorrow. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds at times Thursday, low 60s. Scattered showers Thursday night and Friday, highs Friday, low 60s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? Joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. That's money. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
It is a Power Rankings Tuesday here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 as well for the folks out in Haywood County. And we're heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can take us with you everywhere you go.
Said county really weirdly.
County.
Said that like Scott Hansen would say it. Josh Allen.
I've been watching a lot of that. Love the Red Zone channel. Anyway, you can also see us on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat, get your thoughts in on this Power Rankings Tuesday. We continue with our Power Rankings here. Going through all the teams in the NFL. We've worked our way through all the bad ones. All the bad ones? Are we through all the bad ones yet?
We got through all the bad ones. Now we're into the.
You're
here.
Well,
you're here. You're here, and you're doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're at number 15,
14.
14.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
In the last 5 weeks, you've lost at home to the Broncos, lost to the Bengals, that's respectable. You beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in your place in a game that if Chris Godwin wasn't planning his dinner res, you might have lost that one too. You lost to the god-awful New England Patriots, and you played the grossest primetime game in NFL history against the New York Giants. And were trailing going into the fourth quarter and had to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It is officially time to say, Buffalo, you have a big old problem, and I am curious where you would put the percentages here. Who are you blaming for this?
Oh, goodness. I mean, I don't know about percentages, but I think maybe 50% would have to be on the head coach.
I would have 70 on Sean McDermott.
I would say 25 of it was the guy they fired today.
I had about 10 of it on Ken Dorsey.
Offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. And then I'd say the other 25 would be on Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's about 20 for me.
Yeah.
Now, you've removed 10% of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that going to change anything?
No.
And I'm not so sure of that. Joe Brady was not. I mean, we cover the Carolina Panthers. He was not a good play caller.
Yeah.
Now, he might have grown. This is a different situation because he doesn't have Matt Rule.
But I also feel like he was very limited in what he had to work with.
No doubt.
And so
it was not a good team. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, I mean that
here's
team was real
here's
bad.
the dirty little secret that nobody wants to talk about. The Buffalo Bills aren't very good either. Yeah, you've got Stephon Diggs as a 1. Do you know who he gets in the next handful of weeks? Sauce Gardner, probably Darius Slay, Trent McDuffie, Stephon Gilmore, Asante Samuel, and you get the Patriots, and Jalen Ramsey.
That's a whole lot of good.
That's a lot of good corners.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Brady better find out a way to use somebody other than Dalton Kincaid, or this is not going to get better.
Yeah.
I've already said I don't think you're making the playoffs, and I don't think there's anything you can do to make the playoffs.
Last night I was awake for one of the quick reaction chats that we have every night in our little YouTube chat amongst the show people here. And did you feel like the interception that bounced or went actually through Gabriel Davis that was Josh Allen's fault? Did you feel that was Gabe Davis's fault?
Well, Josh Allen doesn't understand that not every pass has to come out of his hand at Mach 5.
Correct.
I mean, Josh Allen looks like he's trying to kill bugs on people's chest protectors.
Mm-hmm.
He has no touch on the ball whatsoever. And low-key, that was a big problem for him coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like he's regressed. He never had great touch, but now it's there were several instances last night where I just kept saying, take a little mustard off that.
Yeah. He's throwing the fastball all the time. I feel like part of it is his mental state. We went through that whole statement that he gave 2 weeks ago talking about being in the zone, right? Didn't want to get too high, didn't want to get too low. Like, I feel like he's thinking too much. He's pressing too much. He's trying too hard. Although on that throw, I did feel like, yeah, but
Josh,
could it had a little less mustard on it? Sure. But when it's right there in between the fingies, you got to catch that, Gabe.
Josh Allen, to me, is like the little kid that discovered something in the bathtub. You didn't accomplish much that week, did you? And that's all you got. I have no other play. It's just fastball, 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 fastball.
Mm-hmm.
So I look. My opinion of Josh Allen has it's dwindled over the weeks of this season.
Yep.
I don't put him in that elite tier anymore. And if he's not elite, then you're dead in the water anyway.
It's hard to. It's hard to keep him in that category when he turns the ball over as much as he's doing.
Well, I mean, in turning the ball over, Brett Favre turned the ball over a lot. He also did a lot of special.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing way less special out of Josh Allen, and that just it makes it hard to. It makes it hard to go. The offensive play caller is what was doing this. He had nothing to do with any of those 4 turnovers. That's on you, and he feels like a fall guy to me, right? And look, I didn't love it. I had been saying for weeks, I don't think this is going well, but I don't think it's going to fix your problems.
For whatever reason, they didn't feel like they could make Sean McDermott the guy, the fall guy just yet. He will be at the end of the season.
No doubt.
Number 13.
The Seattle Seahawks.
I still feel like this team's real good. They just have weeks where I go, I'm not sure how good you are.
I have absolutely no idea what to do with this team anymore. They play with every team they play against. And your good is really good, and your bad is really bad. And I'm going to say the same thing about Seattle that I said with Buffalo. I don't think Geno Smith's good enough to lead you past what it is that we think you are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're the 4 of the 5 of the NFC. I don't think anybody could have you in any other spot because you're not better than Philadelphia, you're not better than San Francisco, and you're not better than the Lions. You're hula hooping with the Dallas Cowboys, and you two are very obviously better than every other team in the NFC. But what exactly does that get you? I keep coming back to Michael Penix ending up with the Seattle Seahawks because Geno's an older quarterback anyway, and he just doesn't have that gear. Good Geno is fine. The problem is that bad Geno is always just around the corner. He is 3 bad throws from showing himself again. And I don't know what that's supposed to yield.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Divine Comedy loves throwing shade at us for saying, you talk a lot of smack about a 6-3 team.
Yeah.
I do the same thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I kind of feel the same way about you that I do about Pittsburgh. Is that, yeah, you've won some games, and you've done some things that are impressive. I also, it's really hard for me to get the taste of that 37-3 out of my mouth. It's really hard for me to get the taste of that Rams game out of my mouth. And it's really hard for me to get the taste of that game with the Bengals that you had no excuse in losing. None. They did nothing to beat you. You beat yourself time and time and time again. And then I just look at wins over the Commanders and the Cardinals and the Giants and the Panthers. Ooh, you beat the Lions early. If you played right now, you'd be a 6.5-point dog in your house.
Yep.
You'd be a 9.5-point dog in their house. And you know I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. You're not great. And now the question for me is, what is your next step? And frankly, I don't know. You keep adding pieces to this team, but how are you going to acquire that quarterback? I mean, everybody, you said that so glibly, like, well, they need a quarterback.
Well, I mean, but that goes on.
I need $10 million. But let's just see if it falls out of the sky.
Well, yeah, but no, I mean, that's at the top of the checklist, right? That's
well, I mean,
that's your job now.
But how are you going to get that guy?
Mm-hmm. That's your job to figure that out now. How are we going to get that guy? We're going to find that guy in free agency, or are we going to get a guy at the end of the first round? And that's the problem with the Michael Penix theory to me, is that I think Michael Penix, he probably goes before that, right?
No.
He doesn't go before the end of the first round?
No.
Oh. I thought he was going to be in that top 15
I'll
tier.
be shocked. Well, he's 25 years old, or will be by the time he plays his first NFL game.
Right.
So that's going to push you down anyway. The eval on Penix reminds me a lot of Hendon Hooker from last year. Of, why is your best tape when you're way older than everybody else? Man, he had been good. He just lived hurt.
Yep.
And now he never gets sacked, ever.
Mm-hmm.
The medical's still going to be a problem, and I just, in Seattle, it would be an ideal fit.
Okay. All right.
Especially with those weapons. But Geno Smith doesn't have fifth gear. I'm not sure he has fourth gear.
Yeah.
And without that, you're just never going to be better than where you are right now.
Well, he did. Right. He had it. He had that fourth gear. He had that fifth gear last year.
He never had the fifth gear. I'll say he had a 4 that appeared from time to time.
Okay.
But they beat up on a lot of bad teams last year.
But it's pretty much as I expected, was that last year was the best year you're going to get out of Geno.
Mm-hmm.
And the real Geno stands up. Number 12.
The Los Angeles Chargers. Hey, you held up against the Lions, and we all know you've got talent. Do you see a path of them rising above this or falling below this?
No.
The Chargers and the Seahawks, to me, are the same team. Because that's just where you belong.
I would agree.
You could each fall one more spot, because I could see a path where the Bills jump back in front of you.
Mm-hmm. The only reason you would is to damn near win out. Right? You beat everybody on the schedule except for the Chiefs.
And neither one of them is doing that.
No, you're not doing that.
I mean, the Chargers, I'm just looking at what you have. All right, so you beat the Broncos twice, you beat New England, you beat Green Bay. Let's say you beat Buffalo and you beat the Raiders. All right, those games would get you to 10 or 11 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to change how I feel about you?
No. You'd have to pick up one of the big ones. You'd have to pick up one against the Ravens, and I don't think you're gonna. And you'd have to beat the Chiefs at the end of the season, and that would have to be a game that they're playing in, right?
Yes. And the talent is there, but you have a coaching problem. You've had a coaching problem. As Stone Sports Podcast says, even if the Chargers are in, they're a first round out, and I agree with that.
Yes, they are. And they'll have a new coach next year.
This is the definition of Charger football.
Mm-hmm.
You are talented. You find quarterbacks. You do a great job of finding quarterbacks. But you're just not much of a threat.
Nope.
And now you sit around and wait for Jim Harbaugh to show up next year.
Number 11.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. I told you. That loss to San Francisco meant way more to Jacksonville to me than it did to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I will never figure out what it is about Trevor Lawrence. He cannot win big games. Can't do it. And everybody always goes back to that playoff game where he was so special. Do you realize how many things the Chargers had to do to put you back into a position to win?
Well, yeah, because
the reason you were there in the first place was because of him.
Yeah, because he threw 5 interceptions in the first half. And then he makes the comeback, and we all were like, oh, there it is. That's what we want to see. And then we thought, that was the turning point. But apparently not. I mean, to some degree, maybe it was, because I feel like he has played better at times this year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's finding the consistency. Look, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're still not a top 6 team like they were last year or last week to me. But you can't really bail on this team for losing that game to San Francisco.
I want to play a game. I'm just I'm solely curious.
Mm-hmm.
We did not talk about this before the show. Do you know where Trevor Lawrence falls in terms of QBR in the NFL right now for the season?
I will go with 15.
He is 16.
Okay. God, I was going to say 16 too.
I'm going to say a quarterback. You tell me if you would take them to win a big game right now or Trevor Lawrence. And I'm culling the ones that are very obvious, which would be Baker Mayfield, Josh Dobbs, Gardner Minshew. Yep, that's the end.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Stafford.
I'll take Stafford.
Lamar Jackson.
I'll take Lamar.
C.J. Stroud. Kirk Cousins. Assuming he wasn't hurt.
And assuming it's not in prime time?
I don't.
No, I'll take Kirk.
Tua Tagovailoa.
That's closer to me. But I think I'll take Tua.
They both have the same problem. They don't ever win big games.
Right.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen.
Jared Goff.
Goff.
Justin Herbert.
Herbert.
Josh Allen.
I'll take Trevor.
I would have taken Trevor over a couple of the ones you said. Dak Prescott.
Yeah, give me Dak.
Pat Mahomes.
Obvious.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, give me Trevor. You said he's got to win you the game. I'm not trusting Brock to win a game.
We're just at a point. And Joshua Brooks keeps talking about how bad the Jaguars' offensive line is. He's been doing it for 2 days, so I'm just going to say this directly to you. Do you know how many teams I could say about that about in the NFL? The Kansas City Chiefs line has been absolutely horrific at the tackle spots. Horrifically bad. Joe Burrow's line's been bad his entire career. This is the best it's ever been. Really look at what the Houston Texans have on their line. They're playing their 8th and 9th starters right now. That's the nature of the beast. That's why you draft a quarterback like this, because that guy is supposed to prop you up in spite of all these things. If your number one quarterback or your number one receiver goes down, I need the elite quarterback to prop up the 2. If your tight end goes down, I need the quarterback that can make these checks and deal with the fact I don't have that 6th blocker or that pass catcher that can go out there and make the play. If your running back gets hurt, now we're one-dimensional. I need somebody that can prop me up. And I'm not calling you out specifically. We've put out a lot of things about Trevor Lawrence, and I hear that constantly. I get it. He was billed to be the guy that could win in spite of those things, and he's not. He's not. He is not that guy. Is he going to become that guy? Maybe. I don't know. But every time you throw a pass rush at him, he is a disaster. Every single time. And he plays in a division that has 3 teams that don't do that well. And it has hidden him for a long time. Well, now you're wanting to play with the big boys. So you're going to have to either make that next step or you're going to have to acknowledge that he ain't what he was billed to be. Just where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
He is way more Kirk Cousins right now than he is Pat Mahomes. And I don't even think that's debatable. Still young, still got time. I'm not throwing dirt on his career. I'm saying where I had them, he had to take a step, and he hasn't done it.
Yep.
Now, if you need to build out that offensive line this year, absolutely. That's what you should do. You used a first-round pick on one this year. There's just a lot of things that can happen with a quarterback that can be problematic like that, and that's why I need a franchise guy.
Yep.
He also asked a follow-up question that I would like to tackle here. He has a question. Do you think people need to stop hyping up certain players in college like they did with Trevor until they get to the league? Absolutely. They never will. They never will.
No. We see
the bust rate has never been lower than it is right now. If you think over the last handful of drafts, how many guys have been just unmitigated disasters? They've almost all been quarterbacks. Probably 65% have been quarterbacks because teams are so desperate to find one that they ignore the flaws. And I'm looking at Zach Wilson, I'm looking at Trey Lance, I'm looking at Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, on and on and on and on and on. There is so much attention to college football players that we're all going to fall in love with guys. And we're going to talk about them constantly, and you're going to listen to our shows every day, and you're going to keep hearing that guy, and you're going to tell your friends, and that's how hype trains work. It's never going to stop. Should it stop? Absolutely. Caleb Williams is going to be the next victim of it, you mark my words. Because there are people that are arguing with me right now that he's a top 5 prospect in the last 20 years, and I really want to ask every one of those people, do you smoke methamphetamine? Because if you don't, you need to see a psychiatrist because you're out of your damn mind. That was a rant of Joshua Brooks. I want to thank you. That's a rant I've wanted to go on for some time. I appreciate you for facilitating that.
Yep. Sergeant Skull Crusher says that the phrase generational talent needs to be put away for about a decade. No.
It doesn't if it's a generational talent. That's the problem. Is every quarterback that comes out to the no doubt one is a generational talent.
Yes, the number one has been referred to more often than not in every class as a generational talent.
The way prospects are treated should be different. It's not. This is what I've always said about Baker Mayfield. Was he an elite prospect? No, but you took him at 1. So for the rest of his life, he'll be a guy that went number 1, which means for the rest of his life, he'll be a bust because he's not even close to that. He's not even in the ballpark of that. Then you factor in the fact he went over Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. You're always going to look at him that way. There's nothing you can do about that. People like me are always going to sit here and go, how stupid did a GM have to do? How bad did a GM have to be to go, that's the guy I'm in love with? I never saw it. I didn't see it then. I don't see it now.
Yep. Kelvin Joyner says, you think this is bad? Just wait until Arch Manning is a junior in college.
Well, that's a thought, but he might have to do it somewhere other than Texas because I just got a text about 6 hours ago that Quinn Ewers is planning on coming back to Texas.
Really?
Yep. And if that happens, then, hey, this is just an aside as a casual observer. Hey, stop going to schools that already have locked-in starters. Maybe go to a place where you could play sometime soon.
Exactly.
Because that really puts you behind the 8 ball.
You're in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Power Rankings Tuesday continues next.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
At Marion Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we value our community and customers in Western North Carolina. This fall, save up to 15% off MSRP on select vehicles at Marion Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Stop by today.
The annoying runny nose, the constant sneezing, the itchiness, and battle just to catch your breath. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, sinusitis, or nagging sinus congestion, there's a natural, easy-to-use solution that can help provide fast, drug-free relief. It's called Navage, and it uses powered suction to rinse your nasal passages in seconds. Millions of people use Navage daily to help provide relief from seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. Medications treat the symptoms, but Navage treats the problem at the source, flushing out the allergens and pollen trapped in your nose. Navage also helps wash out airborne bacteria, dust, dirt, and viruses quickly and painlessly so you can get back to breathing clearly again. Say goodbye to sinus suffering and hello to better breathing with Navage. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, Target, CVS, Rite Aid, and online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
It is Ryan here reminding you to check out the insane, amazing wireless offer out right now from Boost Infinite. Just pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia.
Some intimate parts need the gentle, easy trim of a Gillette trimmer. And some need the closeness and comfort of a Gillette Intimate razor. While others need a Gillette anti-chafe stick. Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get, down there. Buy now.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests.
Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Oh, we're back in the Sportsocracy.
It made me hit the wrong button.
It's on ESPN.
Your shenanigans.
I said this on the morning show the other day. I guess I'll say it on this one. One of my new fun games to play is to see what effed up thing I can say right before the segment starts, just to see how disjointed it becomes.
Well, this time I actually said it. You just commented on it.
I did.
That's the difference between me and Mark. I tend to say more. I tend to say more things that go a little off the rails.
That's right. One day. That XM radio show is going to come through.
Oh, and we'll be. Our lives will change exponentially. We also won't have any friends.
I was going to say, we also might get to a point where they put us on at midnight on XM because it's a little racy for the free-for-all Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime children could possibly be in a car, you're out.
Yeah, this thing ends up becoming the XM satellite radio version of the Dave Attell show. What was that? Insomniac was the name of that show.
I've always wanted to do a sports version of that show. I think that'd be the most fun thing on the planet.
It could be fun.
I'm your huckleberry.
Football Fossil said, with so many holes in NFL rosters at quarterback, someone will get smart and get Nathan Rourke off Jacksonville's practice squad. Great backup with high ceiling. Would love him with the Steelers. I like him a lot, too. I liked him a lot coming out. Him and Tyson Bagent were the small school fellers that I talked about a lot.
I was going to say, did you like him as much as you liked Jake Luton?
Yeah, I missed on that one. Mm-hmm. He got a shot. And
It ain't got no gas in it.
Now he's shot.
Yeah, and now you call him for all your Progressive auto insurance needs.
I don't know. Is he still on the Carolina practice squad?
I don't know, and I don't care.
I just remember they brought him into camp because they had him walking on the field constantly next to Kyler Murray, and I went, you know what? If I was the GM of this team, I would go, hey, you 6'9" guy, stop standing next to the 5'4" guy because that makes us look worse, okay? Power Rankings Tuesday. We're into the top 10, and there's one team that we have not said yet.
We have not.
That I did not think that we would be saying in the top 10 at any time soon.
Nope. But here we are.
But at number 10,
the Houston Texans. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Head to head, I'll take them over the Jacksonville Jaguars right now.
I said yesterday they're going to win this division. And I don't know that there is anything Jacksonville can do to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Houston plays two good teams the rest of this year. Two. It's the Browns, Jaguars. Other than that, they play the Colts, the Cardinals, two with the Titans, one with the Broncos, one with the Jets. You name me which one of those teams can score with them. Even has a shot of scoring with it. As long as C.J. Stroud still has 2 hands and 2 feet and they're turned the right direction, they'll beat all 6 teams I just said.
Yes.
I can't get there with Jacksonville. I can't. Their schedule's not horrible either, but they're right behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And you play head-to-head, I don't think you can beat them. Nick Caserio is – I've never been more wrong about anything in my entire life than I was on the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it worked. I really don't. I didn't see any of these guys developing into this. And it's a credit to D'Amico Ryans. It's a credit to I can't believe I'm going to say this, the organization of, yeah, you had the upheaval at coach, but you trusted in all these guys. You trusted your scouting.
Mm-hmm.
You've missed on some, but you've nailed some of these. Tank Dell, everybody loved him coming out. I'm not giving you a ton of credit for that. I never understood how he lasted as long as he did. Nico Collins, yeah, we didn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't feel that way about him. We didn't feel that way about Noah Brown. He's been on 2 or 3 rosters over the course of the last couple of years. And you just keep doing this. That offense is dynamic. The defense is getting better because it's getting healthier. And that's a team that you don't want to see.
Nope.
Because they are and I don't mean this as I don't mean this as a slight. It's going to sound like a slight. They're too young and they're too dumb to the league to understand that you're better than them. They don't care. They stood up right to the Cincinnati Bengals. They tried to give that game away. They didn't do it because they've got that youthful innocence to them. And you said this before the show, and I've had it rattling around my brain the entire day. You better get used to seeing them here because they're not going anywhere for a long time.
Yep. This is a team that will stick in this 10 to 15 range of the power rankings for the foreseeable future. I mean, I look at this team and I go, you know what? They're close. They're close to what they were with Deshaun Watson, right? In that era where you had the quarterback, you had the unbelievable talent on the defense. Other than that, you didn't really have anything but solid vets around them. And that's exactly what they built here. They hit on the quarterback, and it could change everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the Houston Texans have found it, and now they're here. Now they're solidly in the playoff discussion, and I, frankly, cannot wait to see what the battle is going to be like in the AFC South between him and Trevor Lawrence for the foreseeable future.
I'm glad you said that. And maybe this will, because I feel like some people don't, in spite of how much I explain what I'm saying about Trevor Lawrence, they don't hear it. If you had to choose right now, would you rather have C.J. Stroud or Trevor Lawrence?
I'll take C.J.
I would too, and I wouldn't have thought about it as long as you did.
Mm-hmm.
Could it bust in my face? Absolutely. This could be an absolute unmitigated disaster if the league gets tape on him and all of a sudden it doesn't look like it has over the course of the last, 8 weeks. It could. Have you ever seen Trevor Lawrence look as good as C.J. Stroud did against Cincinnati?
No.
Neither have I.
I don't think I have.
I've seen C.J. Stroud do it 4 separate times. 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Didn't say it was against the best defense in the league. Just said I saw a high-level prospect that I have never seen out of Trevor.
Mm-hmm. First year of his career, it's hard to say no. And I would take him right now to win a game right now because he's playing the best right now. And I would take him to win a game right now, or I would take him to start a franchise right now because I've already seen Trevor be in this league for a while.
And the chances that CJ's actually going to get better are really high. Because you got to understand, he came out of a non-NFL offense coming out of Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pick-and-pop offense. That's the reason we were all so down on him. That's the reason so many of them in the past have not panned out in the NFL because we never saw it and they couldn't do it. The difference in CJ, he could. And now it's made all of us look really stupid, and it's made Houston look brilliant, and it sets you up for the long haul.
Take a quick break here in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. When we come back, power rankings continue inside the top 10 at number 9.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Temperatures again this afternoon running several degrees above average. It'll be cooler Wednesday, milder for the end of the week, with showers Thursday night into Friday. Clouds increasing for us this afternoon, middle to even upper 60s. Down around or below 40 tonight, cloudy, cooler, middle to upper 50s tomorrow. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds at times Thursday, low 60s. Scattered showers Thursday night and Friday, highs Friday, low 60s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Marion Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
At Marion Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we value our community and customers in Western North Carolina. This fall, save up to 15% off MSRP on select vehicles at Marion Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Stop by today.
Nothing says welcome home like insanely clean carpets from Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. For a limited time, get 3 rooms clean for only $129 when you mention ESPN Asheville. Easily schedule your cleaning online at zeroresasheville.com.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100%, feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
It's the 4th annual Ugly Sweater Run 5K and 10K presented by Hunter Subaru. Saturday, December the 2nd at the Riveter in Asheville. Runners and walkers don their most outrageously festive and tacky outfits, making this the most festive race of the year. Whether you're a seasoned runner or just looking for some holiday fun, the Ugly Sweater Run is the perfect way to celebrate the season, spread joy, and create lasting memories. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaph.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by 97.7 The Brew, Asheville's Christmas station.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The best season of the year is here.
Tailgate season.
Monster Brewing presents this season's MVP,
The Beast Unleashed.
with 4 bold, familiar flavors.
With 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Beast Unleashed is your new pregame ritual.
With white haze, mean green, peach perfect, and scary berries, there's a flavor for every fan. The Beast Unleashed.
6% alcohol by volume. Unleashed responsibly. Must be 21 or over. Beast Unleashed available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's Power Rankings Tuesday. We're inside the top 10, number 9.
They didn't play this week, but they play this week. The Miami Dolphins.
Yes, they play this week, and they play the Las Vegas Raiders.
Every Jet, I'm in way too many Jet fan groups, and there's a theory running around right now of, well, if the Jets beat the Bills this week, and the Dolphins lose to the Raiders, then the Jets and the Dolphins are playing for the division on Black Friday. You know, you make it hard for me to just not call you dum-dums. Because, yes, that is technically true. It's also super misleading.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Because first you have to rely on the Raiders to beat the Dolphins. And, of course, I think that's insane.
I don't think that is as insane because I think the Raiders are a good-ish team. I don't know if they're good. Miami beats bad teams. So, but this is coming off a bye, which if you're as good as you try to tell me you are, you should come out this week and absolutely boat race them.
No doubt.
And if you don't, then the talk's going to get louder.
Dolphins are a 12-point favorite in that game. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot. I'll take it.
That's going to come down. And I won't.
He's like, what?
12 is reserved for horrible teams playing real good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Don't necessarily know that's what we have right there.
Vegas sees this my way. Terrible team against a good team.
We're up against time, so I don't have the time to explain to you why that may or may not be true.
Miami's got it. I'd have no real worries about that team.
I do. You can't beat good teams.
I think they're healthy at the right time. And yeah, you gotta beat the good ones. Number 8.
The Dallas Cowboys. Hey, you beat the Giants. Good for you. You beat them to death.
Mm-hmm.
Also good for you. And I'll go one step further. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna lose the game for a minute, because this is what happens to the Dallas Cowboys. You're going to beat the Carolina Panthers brainless. Then you're going to beat the Washington Commanders on Thanksgiving. And we're going to have a really long time to talk about, the Cowboys are back. And then you go Seahawks, Eagles, Bills at the Dolphins and the Lions. When you come through that, we'll talk.
Yep.
You come through that better than 2 and 3, A, I will be shocked, and B, we can talk then. Until then, I have nothing else to say about the Cowboys. I've said it all. 49-17 against the Giants doesn't mean squat to me.
No, it does not. Number 7.
The San Francisco 49ers.
So they didn't move.
Nope.
After they just beat the snot out of the Jaguars.
Nope. And I told you they wouldn't.
Ooh,
I told you they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Does last week unwind the previous 4? No. None of the 6 teams ahead of them have that 3-week stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I've still seen your bad. Am I saying your good doesn't belong in the top 3? No. I've also seen Brock Purdy look like there was a conspiracy theory that he had a concussion playing in the game because he was so unbelievably bad that they couldn't believe that a quarterback that was 100% had all his marbles still between his ears could be that bad. It doesn't change anything. Yes, I've again seen that your good is really good. I saw that against the Dallas Cowboys too.
Mm-hmm.
Then what did you do in the precursory 3 weeks directly after that? You lost to 3 teams that I don't think are better than you.
Right.
So you still got that in you.
Yep. And your team got banged up in that stretch, but that's no excuse, right? Everybody gets banged up. You got to win. You got to win the games when not everybody's available, because not everybody's going to be available.
I also would love to hear how somebody would rationalize to me that San Francisco is better than Cincinnati. They beat you brainless.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland beat you and couldn't move the ball. How am I supposed to have you ahead of that?
Right.
I mean, I'm not big on the transitive property because there are weird things that happen every year, but when you're this close, yeah, that can be a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pretty easy tiebreaker for me.
Yep. At number 6.
The Detroit Lions. That's another part of this. Do I really think San Francisco would beat Detroit? I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain to you why I say that. Is that pass rush going to get home against that offensive line? Nobody else has. And it's a special line. I get it.
Yeah.
That's a special line for Detroit, too.
Sure.
And if you give Jared Goff time against that back 7, you know what he's going to do to you? It should have an NC-17 rating because children should not be allowed to see it. Amon-Ra St. Brown, what are you going to do with him?
Mm-hmm.
Other than just let him get whatever he wants.
On the flip side of that, I believe the same would be the factor on the other side.
I don't know. I can hide Aiden Hutchinson over the right tackle, and I think he's going to get home all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And hit Brock Purdy routinely.
I
would take the over.
I feel like they would be able to march the ball almost just as freely on the Lions, and that would be a hell of a game, like we had with Seattle, right? The Lions-Seattle game that went 37-31 in overtime. I could very well see that happening between the Lions and the 49ers. It just kind of surprised me. They're in at 7 last week, and they spanked a top 10 team and didn't move. Just a little surprising to me.
Shouldn't be surprising because I told you it was coming.
Number 6.
It's the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm. David Montgomery is going to be the thorn in your side forever.
I hate David Montgomery with every fiber of my being. Oh, he had a 75-yard touchdown. I'm well aware. Jahmyr Gibbs is still light years better than him.
Mm-hmm. He's still going to get tote. You got a two-headed monster there. And here's the thing. There's not too many teams that can stack up with them offensively. It's the defensive side that you need to get better, and I feel like they're doing that.
The defense is getting better. I didn't love everything that I saw against the Chargers. It'll never make sense to me that they have one weapon and you can't figure out to stop single covering him. That makes less than no sense to me. So that bothered me to a point. If I had put San Francisco in front of Detroit, that would have been why. Now you said two-headed monster with David Montgomery. Do you know what he did outside of that 75-yard touchdown? 11 carries for 39 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gross. All right?
And it's going to be
gross. He is
gross.
3 yards a carry. I absolutely despise it, and Jahmyr Gibbs is showing just how good he is. If you watch the tape on Detroit, to me, and you try to explain to me why David Montgomery is getting as many carries as he is, I'm going to listen to you. And then I'm going to walk away and go, that person is too stupid for me to ever listen to. You tell me what day it is, and I'm going to go check my calendar because it's abundantly clear.
Yeah.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the 5 best receivers in the league.
Yes.
That will forever go down as – did I tell you about my cards for the Senior Bowl this year?
No.
I had cards printed that have at the top of the backside, it says if you had hired me 5 years ago, you would have every one of these players on your team. He's number 1.
Good.
He's the first one.
Not using Chase Claypool anymore?
No, he's still there.
Are you?
He's just at the very bottom.
Yeah, I would.
Because he's a train wreck.
I'd take him off.
Well, I mean, there's 50 names on the card, so,
Maybe you don't need that many.
There's 5 columns.
Maybe we could just deal with 49 and not tell anybody about that whole Chase Claypool thing.
Put my thumb over it when I hand it to you. Like, here, look at this. Look.
You got
See?
Nope.
There.
That wasn't my guy. Let's go number 5.
This is where it got fun for me. The Cincinnati Bengals. I get they have losses.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Mm-hmm. Got no qualms from me because, look, we all know when Joe Burrow's slinging, you can win games. I was a little shocked that they weren't able to close it out against the Texans, but to me that said more about the Texans than it did about the Bengals.
Does me too. And now this is the latter part of what I'm going to say here. I think there's a great chance that they're going to lose to the Ravens. It's in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. It's a blackout game. Mm-hmm. Great chance you're going to be sitting 5-5, and everybody's it's going to be gnashing of teeth, and then they win 5 games in a row. Because they go Steelers off a 10-day layoff at the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. That Jaguars team in prime time against the Bengals. Can I bet that right now? I really would like to get as many shekels on that as I could. Then you go then you go Colts, Vikings, Steelers. And you close out with the Chiefs, who may or may not be playing for anything. I don't know. And then one with the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not scared of Cincinnati. I'm not worried.
No, you shouldn't be. I don't think there's anything about that game that should worry you. You were shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
You playing a hot team with a hot
and
quarterback.
And you're not going to have T. Higgins this week either.
I was going to say, I guess the defense. I mean, you'd be worried about the defense giving up.
Losing Trey Hendrickson's not great, but I can hope that it's not super serious. And it didn't sound like it was really serious.
Yeah. But, I mean, that was the first time all season that this defense is giving up 30
And Cam Taylor-Britt's
points.
still really good. It's fine. RELAX.
Yes. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will give you the top 4 in the Week 11 power rankings in the NFL.
At Ingles, we've got plenty to be thankful for, and it all starts with you. Thank you for continuing to trust us as your local grocer for the past 60 years. Thank you for your kindness in the aisles and your smiles at the register. Thank you for supporting our efforts to help our neighbors in need. Thank you for trusting us to feed your family with food from farms close to home. Thanks for everything. And happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 60 years.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is CEOs You Should Know, a short conversation with local business leaders around Western North Carolina. This month, we sat down with Dr. Chad Reinhardt from Summit Dental in Asheville. Dr. Reinhardt, thanks so much for being with us today. What are some of the things that you do at Summit Dental to give back to the local community?
One of our favorite things to do is to help out with whenever there are different free dental clinics in the community. There's been just a number of those in the community over the years, and we love to kind of help out and participate with those. I've had the chance to go on several different mission trips to Kenya and Dominican Republic, but there's also something which are really great and love those. Very rewarding. It's great to help people, but there's also something very rewarding about being able to help people here at home in our community in Buncombe County, in Asheville, and provide free dental care for those in need.
To hear more of our conversation with Dr. Chad Reinhardt from Summit Dental, visit our station's website and look under audio archives. You've been listening to CEOs You Should Know.
Are you a student ready to embark on your journey towards financial independence? Hey everybody, it's Chris Angel from Mountain Credit Union. Trailhead Student Checking is a high-dividend checking account designed exclusively for students aged 16 to 23. Your path to financial freedom begins at Mountain Credit Union. Start building a solid foundation for your future and enjoy the benefits that come with being a part of the Mountain Credit Union family. Rates subject to change, restrictions apply. Visit mountaincu.org or stop by any of our local branches to learn more. At Mountain Credit Union, we're here for you because we're here with you.
It's Ryan Seacrest here. Check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. You get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then next year, you get the latest iPhone, and this keeps happening every year. It's Boost Infinite, infinitely better. To switch today or learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250, and say Boost Infinite.
Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slow. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and a 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Kai?
Back in the Sportsocracy top 4 in the Week 11 power rankings in the NFL. Number 4.
Oh, if you didn't like the last one, you're going to hate this one. The Cleveland Browns.
Why would you hate this one?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because people hate the Browns and they think same old Browns, they can't be that good. No, they are.
Mm-hmm.
No, they are. For the first half of the season, they were borderline incompetent throwing the ball. You lost to a Steelers team that had 2 defensive interceptions. You lost to the Seahawks with P.J. Walker. And then, there was that game with the Ravens, and that was with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Do you realize what I'm saying here?
Yes.
That with your team fully together, the only team to beat you needed 2 defensive touchdowns to do it. And moving forward, you play the Steelers and the Broncos and the Rams and the Jaguars and the Bears and the Jets. Cleveland Browns are going to win a lot of games. Yeah. And there is a grand possibility that they're going to win this division.
And it's not just with your team being together, it's with your quarterback being on the field, right? That's huge. So I've made the same argument for San Francisco, right? When all the pieces are there, that team works. This is you have to have the quarterback
to make it work.
And even if he doesn't statistically do all of the things for you, he's still a threat. And teams still know that. This is the other part of that, and I said this yesterday. The other three teams in this division, Cincinnati plays the toughest schedule remaining. Every team they play is in the top 16 of the NFL right now. The Baltimore Ravens play the 5th toughest schedule, and the Pittsburgh Steelers play the 17th toughest schedule. You're in prime position to win because Cleveland is sitting at 19 with 4 games that there is absolutely no reason they should lose.
Number 3.
Well, this is where you get into the teams that, well, they've been here. The Baltimore Ravens. But they just lost to the Browns. I understand that. And if this was week 1, they would have been ahead of them. But they also beat them to death in week 2 or 3. It was early in the season somewhere. Week 4. And Cleveland had a lot of ground to make up. And that was a gross AFC North game. Cleveland rallied back at the end. It doesn't change how I feel about Baltimore. They can't be number 1 because you did just lose. And I'm not going to say it was a tenuous hold. It's just when you get 3 teams in the top 5, I'm not sure any of you can be number 1. Because you're going to beat each other up. And the question is, how healthy are you when you go into the playoffs? And that is really the biggest fear I have about these 3 teams. I have no doubt they're going to get there. I also know you have to go through each other in some gross form or fashion over the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's a crazy round robin in that division between 4 teams that very well could be playoff teams. Pittsburgh's on the way out of that, but it's not that out of the box to think that they could make the playoffs.
It's possible.
Exactly. It's possible. Not likely, but it's possible.
I struggle to believe 4 teams from the same division are making the playoffs once everything sorts itself out.
Sure. But still a possibility. Let's go number 2.
This was where it got really difficult. The Kansas City Chiefs. You didn't play. I wanted to put them ahead of who's at 1. I almost said that early. Not that you haven't figured it out by now.
Right.
But I wanted to bump them up, but I still can't.
Because your offense is super limited.
Yes. And you just look at the gauntlet that you're going to have to go through. And I think I'm not saying I use it as a huge determining factor, but it has to play a role.
Yep. Good thing is, Monday Night Football this week is going to settle the number 1 battle for us.
It is. That was another thought of this. Is, hey, you're going to figure this out for me, and I appreciate that greatly.
That we do. So, number 1.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Both of these teams are super close. I feel like it should be – none of us should be surprised. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I had this as a replay. And there's not real much that's changed my mind. Not saying that anybody else can't crash that party. Of course,
somebody's going to crash the party.
That could crash the party. But right now, these are still the number 1, number 2 teams that I trust.
I don't think there is really a number 1 team. I mean, there has to be because you have to rank teams 1 to 32. There's not an infallible team on this list.
No. I mean, if you go back on our power rankings since the beginning of the season, I feel like we've had 9 different number 1s.
No, because the Eagles have been 1. Kansas City was 1 twice. We've probably had 5. I know Philadelphia's been there. I know Kansas City's been there.
Buffalo was there
at the
for
beginning
2
of the
weeks,
season.
I think.
Baltimore was. San Francisco was. So, yeah, we've had 5.
Okay. It just feels like it's been really changing.
Well, that's because nobody's elite. Nobody, There is nobody that I look at and go, you can't be beaten. Because every one of you has a flaw. But what puts the top 8 teams in the top 8 to me is you all do something special. Once you get to 9, and Miami does special things against really bad teams that can't defend those 2 wide receivers. The other 24 teams don't have that special thing that I go, that's how you're going to win a Super Bowl. That's what you're going to ride for a 3-game run in the NFL playoffs to lift a trophy. Those 16 teams in the middle, You've got good days. You've got good days where you could beat anybody. Frankly, you could beat some of the teams on the top in the top 8. But you can't do it consistently. And I think those are I'm at the point of those are, to me, not set in stone, but those are pretty comfortably the top 8 teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And if you break it down, there's 4 from the NFC and there's 4 from the AFC. The only difference is 4 of the top 5 are in the AFC. And if you keep going back through time, there's a lot of bad in the NFC and not nearly as much bad in the AFC.
Yes, indeed. Week 11 NFL Power Rankings in the books. You can join us right here tomorrow on ESPN Asheville. We'll be back with you at noon. Also, just want a quick reminder before we get out of here, let you know that if you haven't made your plan yet, go ahead and make your plan to join us after the show on Thursday, 575 New Leicester Highway. Jeremy and I will be there from 4 to 6 Thursday afternoon with Ingles Markets and our good friends from Manna Food Bank, supporting the Ingles Giving Tree this year, taking donations 4 to 6 Thursday, 575 New Leicester Highway. We will see you back here tomorrow at noon.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Temperatures again this afternoon running several degrees above average. It'll be cooler Wednesday, milder for the end of the week, with showers Thursday night into Friday. Clouds increasing for us this afternoon, middle to even upper 60s. Down around or below 40 tonight, cloudy, cooler, middle to upper 50s tomorrow. Sunshine mixing in with the clouds at times Thursday, low 60s. Scattered showers Thursday night and Friday, highs Friday, low 60s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand-name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there, and around there, and even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn
From
it.
the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Springs.
It's a different world, you know. College football's changed a lot, and